Yeah, that's what I thought. There we go. I gotta rearrange so many things. It's gonna be great.
Should I pull up? Is there gonna be a chat? Should somebody watch the Twitch chat?
I have it on OBS, but if someone else wants to also be there, right now, currently, the only one I know for a fact is commenting is Mellowit. That's the name Mellow minus the W. You had etiquette, and then there is a underscore at the end because someone else took her name on OBS, and she is still salty about it. And I have heard her say that so many times that I can now spout that off without needing to read it. Cool. Alright, we're gonna keep it very plain for this. We have no name plates because I didn't have time to make them because no one sent me artwork. So there's no tokens.
Making it right now, I am so sorry.
No
I was busy.
It's not your fault. Literally, I asked everyone to send me a piece of artwork to make their tokens for, and no one sent me anything.
But don't you have
Did
a
you
token
send it in Messenger?
Two of you talked at once, so I didn't.
Go ahead, Leo.
Did you send it in Messenger? Because I would not have seen it.
Potentially, I have no idea. I'm gonna still send guilt to all of you guys.
Do you want it now?
It doesn't help now. I'm not gonna make tokens while I'm trying to also DM this shit.
To be fair, I'm I don't art. So either A, I would need someone to design one for me, or B, you just get a really crappy image that I pull off the internet.
I'll get to it. I had 2 events in 2 weekends.
We don't steal internet art for streams because that's how we get in trouble. As what happened in many a D&D community member recently. So we're not going to do that, for one. 2, I would have sent everyone like a doll creator. The only person who I know we probably couldn't have really made would have been Deh-nys. He's the only one who I'm like, don't think we can recreate him on anything.
Sorry.
If someone wants to, if someone with far more artistic talent than me wants to draw Eevee, I will happily, for a token, I will happily throw money at them.
Yeah, that's already being done. I'm paying Natalie to make Fire art, but that is something that, again, doesn't matter. Either way.
I sent the sketch, didn't I? I'll send it again.
Don't think so. Either way. Hi, people who are potentially watching us. This is the way we talk, and I'm so sorry it took us 20 minutes to just say hi to you guys. But this is probably what you can expect.
Welcome.
There is no symbols and no special stuff because we are waiting a bit to get all of that together. There will be nameplates, tokens, and probably some fanciful accoutrement in the future. For now, for this session 0, there's not even closed captions, so sorry about that. We'll try harder next time. This is the group for the Fire Arc, also known as Team Blaster. We're going to go around the circle, let everyone introduce themselves, their names, pronouns. You guys can introduce your characters too if you want, and then also where people could find you for anything in particular. So if you do cosplay, artwork, other things, shut yourself out.
Do you want to do shoutouts at the end, Vinny? Just so they're not getting like a wall of 15 minutes of us talking about ourselves?
No, but I mean, you can easily quickly just say like where it is people can find you. You don't have to give all the details at the end. People can do longer shoutouts as needed. But quickly, I'm Vinny or Vander, he, him pronouns. I am the DM, and I play everybody that these people aren't playing. Basically, that's the easiest way to sum it up right here and right now. I play the gods, I play the mortals, and everything else in between. To my left, we have Alex.
That's me. Oh, hi. Look at that. I'm on the left. Hi, I'm Alex. I play Sir Dennis Quail, a very eclectic Kenku, which I do not wish to explain. And my pronouns are he, him, and I was introduced because of that person, and I'm happy to be here.
I'm pretty sure you just pointed into the void of nothing, but that's fine.
No, I'm looking at the thing. Or I don't know.
It's great. Alright, so right above Alex, we have...
Me?
Yes.
Lady Bunch.
Hi, I'm Lark. My pronouns are she, her. And I play Malen the Wizard with the big hat.
Those are the big details that we have. Going up from there, we have Ange.
I'm Ange. I play Evie, we're gonna say pirate as that's the easiest explanation. Pronouns she, her. I don't even know what else to say, so shrug.
It's Monday, guys. We're doing this on a Monday. That was a bad choice. Either way. All the way in the top right.
It's my Wednesday. Hi, I'm Leo. I play Gromagul, the Half-Orc Barbarian rogue. And I also have a brown bear named Bear.
I should have said Bear is who I played.
I
that's actually who I played.
have 2 armadillos.
Yeah, 2 white dragon armadillos.
Correct.
What?
Snowy boys.
Yeah, there's a lot to catch you up on, unfortunately.
That's right. We started Jumanji.
Natalie.
Hi, I'm Natalie. She, her. I play Corinne, the anime character. She has a robotic silver fox companion named Arvin, who I also voice sometimes. Sometimes I give it to Vinny. We share. And yeah, you can find me online as Natalie Fuinia, where I do cosplay and art. And also I have a podcast of my own, The Storyteller Squad. You can check us out. My friends and I play Monster of the Week.
Hell yeah. We are going to be doing a quick session 0, and I mean quick as in most of the stuff we went over in our first Fire Arc session. It is a little more refined since then, but we'll probably go by a lot of it real quick because we played together for almost a year. We worked very well off of each other, and most boundaries and limits we kind of already know and worked very well with dealing with those. The main thing is we do have a new player. We do have our new wonderful Malen, I believe the name is for your character.
Yes, that's my character name.
Yeah, I will mostly go by character names because
That's
I
okay.
can read those off of Discord right there, and it makes it so much easier for me right now. But yeah, so the new player, might have to slow down at some spots. At the end of our little session 0, we're going to try to explain Fire Arc to you guys. I'm so sorry in advance. As we try to sum up the events of things that it's very much going to be Olaf in the middle of Frozen 2, where he's doing a really bad job of explaining Frozen 1. But I'm sure it'll be very interesting. And then we will also be explaining details about the characters, so that way you know them a little better before we jump into the action. We will be building a wizard because, a quick spoiler, the group got really rich. And by getting really rich, they bought themselves like basically an infinite teleportation wizard to just travel along with them. Who is a buff wizard, and that's about as much detail as we got. It's a drow buff wizard, and that's literally all the details we have so far. So we will probably build the
priorities.
We got them. We got them in spades. And then from there, we will probably do enough role playing to at least make it so that way Malen is joining the group, so we might actually enter the world a little bit for this session 0. Maybe not. At the very least, we'll talk out the details that at least sets up session 1, or at the very least gets Malen to be a part of the group. Maybe it's another wizard that y'all hired. Who knows? We don't know. But first and foremost, welcome. Thank you for coming along and hanging out with us. And I hope session 0s don't bore you, because they are important. And hopefully any person that you work with, any person that is trying to lead you through a story, understands that session 0s are important. Not everyone covers the same topics, and honestly, I probably am missing things that I should be covering, but most players that I know at this point, and we know enough about each other that this is all we really need. But any of my players specifically, please, any of you, if there are things that aren't in here that you want to talk about, let me know and interrupt me, and we can go through it. Does anyone, as it says in the first part, have questions before we start going through this for you, the U5.
Yes. Very important. What's your favorite food? You know right now.
Water. No, steak.
Good.
Oh no, you turned that switch in my brain on, Alex.
You're welcome.
Oh, God.
First
God.
question. Vinny, where are you from?
This is gonna be a long 3 hours.
I hear a question. What gives you the right?
Jesus Christ? I don't know.
Our Lord and Savior Bahamut the dragon.
So
We actually praise
I
Tiamat
suppose
around here.
I suppose at this
That was
point,
a good answer.
I suppose at this point, my question is why? Just why?
Ain't nothing but a heart egg. I will tell you why. Ain't nothing but a mistake. And that's about as much as I can probably say on stream before they charge me.
God.
You're monetized.
I'm fighting the urge to finish.
I'm saving my questions for the end of the
song.
the end.
Alright.
Because I know there'll be a lot.
Yeah, you're gonna be more than you guys who are watching this. I feel so bad for our newest party member who has to interact with all of these new details that have never existed before today.
Sorry.
I will roll with the punches as best I can.
I appreciate it. So first and foremost, I asked if they had questions. You saw the answers I got. The rest of this is their own fault. So
I'm sure it wasn't actually important that we answer or ask questions in a mature adult way.
Not at all. Second thing, group notes. You guys all got sent the doc. There is a group note attachment in there. So in the Sweet Goss, there is also a reheated note section if you want to use it. We have the Roll20 one as well. And we have the whole Discord where you can make a mess of notes.
Which we already have.
Yeah, make notes wherever you want. It doesn't matter. I just want you to keep some of them because at some point you guys might want to remember what the actual plot is. We know it takes about halfway through, but who knows?
You know how chaotic those notes are. You're going to open those notes one day.
I'm going to regret it, I know.
Yeah.
So first, 2 topics that I usually try to toss out. I mean, we don't like to yuck people's yums around here, but there are certain topics that we try not to hit at all. And we already have some of those on the list. Some are just potential negative topics. These are actually from the last session that I played, or last game I played. This is based from light arc stuff. So quickly, just from the 5 of you, are there any specific negative topics that you don't mind treading near but want to not get too close to? And is there any topics you just want to avoid, not go near at all, or ever deal with? There are 2 that are already in the topics to avoid, which I think covers most of our issues. Racism and rape. We're just gonna never need to deal with either of those.
Yeah, that's fair to me.
If you don't mind, like young child abuse is now that I have a little one is very bothering.
Yeah, I would agree. Any sort of like child exploitation or abuse is not on the table for me.
Don't hurt kids.
Yeah.
I'm seconding all of that.
Gotcha. Cool. We'll add that to the list of do not. Cool. That is something that we did not have before, and I don't think we even actually ever discussed that really during the fire arc, and I don't think it ever needed to come up either, but it's nice to know that now and to have that out now. Cool. All right.
I'll throw out a couple more just because they've come up a lot in other games, and I kind of agree that we don't need these in game. Graphic depictions of suicide, not great.
Yeah.
Jokes about COVID and the pandemic.
Yeah.
All the other phobias and isms that we don't like.
Yeah, this is I will say this is the good time to lay down any isms or phobia, not isms, any phobias you specifically have, because I did have a player that had arachnophobia that I never knew about before, which was very good to find out, because then I got to just say, okay, we're never dealing with spiders. So if there's any mild like phobias and stuff that like as an enemy, like might be dealing with enemies or foes, please tell me now so they don't make them appear. Like if you don't like bunnies, I'd rather not make rabbits appear. Besides bunny people that some people date.
I'm afraid of Kenku.
That is so unfortunate for you, my good sir.
On a semi-serious note, not necessarily a phobia, but one thing that does make me squeamish is if we're describing stuff. Like, any kind of torture that involves the eyes, I will get very, very squeamish and visibly uncomfortable.
Cool. I usually, when it comes to torture stuff, similar to when you guys dealt with a tortured prisoner, I will tell you like a little bit of the aftermath. I usually try not to give you details while it's going on, because no one needs that.
I could do without the torture.
Yeah.
Like the
Vague descriptions of gore.
Vague descriptions, good. It only ever came up once, and it was one of my closest friends, and he was going through a scene basically like out of a horror movie, which was fine. And then when I reacted, he's like, "What?" I'm like, "It's the eyes. It's a thing." And he's like, "Oh shit, I'm so sorry."
Yeah. All right.
But it was. But that's fine.
Any final ones from anybody?
Last one on mine is pregnancy stuff, because I'm not gonna have kids, and I feel like I don't want to speak on that. So
yeah, I could agree to that.
Cool.
Man, that's shrug.
That's it for me.
Cool.
I think that covers all my stuff.
Cool. Anything going once, going twice? And this is a list we can update whenever, so if there's ever a time where you just want to even private message me, guys, just message me. I'll add it to the list, and I will do my best to avoid. Now a bunch of random stuffs. This is just lists of things. Some of this doesn't even apply. I just haven't got to remove some of it. So first thing, level up is milestone based. You guys knew that. That's how you guys leveled up. It was just whenever I felt like it. There's a very good chance you guys don't level up considering we're playing once a month, but who knows? I might let it whenever you guys really do something big and cool.
I mean, we didn't level up when we saved the world, so...
Yeah,
know, you became...
Are we owed one?
Billionaires. You know what? Sure.
Listen, I don't care about it. Listen, I don't give a shit. No, it's not.
No, it's not. For $1 billion gold.
Exactly. Yeah. Like I'll keep making these deals if you
want.
PC secrets. Because we are streaming, try to message them to me on Messenger or Discord if you want to keep something private or secretive. That is not something that we can always do. Sometimes you might just have to be like, hey, none of you guys know this, but I need to let you guys know, and we can verbally talk about it on stream. But if you want to, for whatever reason, keep it super duper secret, message me. Unfortunately, while we have Discord open and we're doing video chat, I won't get a message about a Discord message. Meaning the only way I will get a message is Messenger or text messages. So I'm not going to get those updates, unfortunately, if you do it on Messenger or on Discord. Yeah. Just an FYI. Player expectations. What are you guys looking for? Story? You guys looking for loot? Loot, I'm sure, is a serious option that you guys all really need to worry about getting those rare magical items now. This is a normal discussion for normal campaign stuff. Since we're only doing once a month, it's harder to have this. I will say you guys can give me any expectations you have, but I will say that the assumed expectation with us playing once a month, you're going to get a little side story that hopefully we don't need to finish next time, but if we do, we will. Small side story of your adventuring around and saving the world. That is most likely what it's going to be. If there are other things you specifically want, if you guys want to lean heavily towards the story and like character interaction, if you guys want to lean heavily more towards the battles and fighting, let me know.
I'm 100% here for roleplay and lore and plot.
Same.
I think we hit a pretty good balance in the like actual fire arc between cool epic combat and like a lot of story. So
cool epic combat is a lot of fun. But it had a point to the story. Combat for the sake of combat is just meh.
Agreed. So you guys will be heading to locations where like there are things to fight. The reason you're there is to solve the problems. And more often than not, it's going to be, there's a thing for you to kill. But there will probably either be puzzles or issues or people or plot along the way. Expect combat. Each session will probably, most likely have combat.
Totally fine with combat. Malen can turn a dude inside out if she has to.
Oh no.
Oh no. Rules debating. I feel like I know the rules, unfortunately, really well at this point for 5e. Just because my head has had to become mush for this stuff. I will still forget things. Whoever can look it up on their phone and find a more credible source faster is normally who's going to be right in the end as far as I'm concerned. But if we're in a moment or we're crunched for time, I'm just going to make a call that maybe none of us is going to like, and then we're just going to move on, look it up, and change it for the future. But normally I can look it up on the phone while the argument's going on and then just give you a final result, but who knows? Not me. I have a Discord message that I need to check. Alright, player absences. We are going to be working around everybody's schedule to make this work. Meaning, if last minute someone cancels, I will try to be very understanding. I will also probably give you one smack on the bum. A singular smack. Look, I will just be very annoyed. That's all. We're working with everybody's schedule, so like absences shouldn't be a thing. It's also once a month, so I'm assuming we'll make it work. Please just let me know in advance if there's definitely times and places you guys can't make. Simple and easy there.
Sure.
Ethics and moral pushing. I'm not going to do any more than we already did in Fire-Arc, which is to say, like, I made people who were bad and you guys argued with them. I think that's like the farthest it really went. I think Gromagul honestly did more ethic and moral pushing than anybody else, purely from the
Thank you.
Look, from like a black and white standpoint, you were orange and red, so it was very.
Just saying, I know what I was here for.
It was great. It was great.
I mean, more often than not, we got mad and argued with characters who were not bad.
Mm-hmm.
So.
Or each other.
It really was just Corinne picking fights.
All the time.
And Deh-nys destroying whatever he could.
That's not true. I built things, like relationships.
Yeah, no, you destroyed furniture to create art, and I can appreciate that.
Yeah, that's not destroying, that's creating.
He went very Banksy.
Mm-hmm.
Yes.
Things can be done.
I will agree with that.
Arc length, 20 to 30 sessions. I had that written. That's obviously not accurate anymore. We'll just ignore that.
Nope, you heard it here, folks. 20 to 30 sessions.
Tracking material components. At this point in time, I unfortunately can't make material components be restricted to any single way, shape, or form. Y'all are fine. Unless there's something super ridiculous, like you need like the toenail of an archlich, I can't even kind of like be like, you guys have the gold you need for revivifies at this point. It's just unfortunate that there's just no way that that's ever going to get limited again.
It just means it's not a problem in the story anymore.
No, it just means I have to bring in the deck of many things and hope you guys draw bad.
Do it.
You just have to give us challenges that aren't related to lack of resources.
Also, this is kind of a non sequitur, but in the game I used to play, my DM had a thing where if you got revivified, like on the battlefield, like not like a proper revive, you had to roll in a chart and something would happen. You'd come back, but something would happen.
Yep.
And there are fates worse than death, my friends. There are definitely fates worse than death. You could have a dwarven vacuum salesman stuck in your brain the whole time.
No.
You could be revived, or you could be revived as a troglodyte, which happened in one of the parties I was in a long time ago.
Yep.
And like you guys know that Mel wrote in the comments, how much did y'all break this man?
14 trillion gold worth, Mel. That's how much.
He's fine.
I didn't do anything, actually. I'm
yeah,
guilty.
No,
There's
the best.
my answer. Simultaneously, too much and not enough.
That's fair. We're going to move on to story and safety tools. Before we get straight into that, I guess there's a simple hand signal thing we'll set up that most of the other groups know. We didn't really need to use them because we just interrupted each other. Single hand raise means you want to get knocked in real soon for whatever's being talked about, as in, like, you have something to say or probably related or needs to be brought up soon. Double hand raise means it needs to be brought up right now because it's related to that exact subject going on. T for timeout, meaning either it is too graphic, phobic, or we just need to pause to like really recollect a situation. 3 very simple hand signals that use them when you can. Raising hands is the easiest. I'm sure we'll use that a lot.
Or forget and just interrupt.
Yeah, something like that. Let me have hope.
Okay, I'm sorry.
What's up?
No, I was just gonna. I don't know. I got nothing.
You're fine. I'm gonna trying to stay quickly on point to get through these stuff real quick. For safety tools, I will just read the ones that we potentially can use, and people here, depending on what we want to do, we can use in the end. There is the X card, which literally means you have an X on a card, hold it up. There are lines and veils, which is something that we might want to discuss more later, but basically veils are a thing, I believe it's veils are things that you're okay with soft limits, and then lines are hard limits for things. We kind of talked about that a little bit already, but if we ever need to get more particular about it, let me know and we will. There are the consent flower, or basically the streetlights, which is green, yellow, red. Fairly self-explanatory. Green means go, yellow means you're okay to push limits a little more if you're willing to test it, red means we need a hard stop on whatever's going on. Script change allows for the ability to sort of manipulate time, as it were, but specifically manipulate the way the plot is going a little bit if it's getting uncomfy. Rewinding, pausing, or fast forwarding to skip over, or rewinding to change something because it led to a specific thing that none of us feel like dealing with, either plot-wise or ethically, or whatever reason we decide we don't want to deal with it. This one is a thing I made up, and we may not even need to use this because of the way where we are. Avenues. There's an A, B, C, and D for avenues. A is main plot, so basically if you're staying along the storyline, if you guys want to know what plot or avenue you're currently going on, you can ask, and I will tell you that you're on A, B, C, or D. A is main plot, B would be a side character plot, so like if Corinne or Deh-nys or Malen or somebody is having like a storyline plot and we aren't sure that this is relating to it, if you ask, I can be like, it's B. It's definitely a character plot that we're hitting on. It just doesn't seem like it yet. You just got to give it more time. C means it is like adjacent to the plot stuff, but potentially just not. And D means like it's just so off course from what you guys should be doing. This is basically if you decide that you really want to check the map in the middle of your questing and being like, we went really far off the trail. It should be very obvious in these one-shots / these once a month things where you're supposed to be going. On the off chance that it's not, ask me about the avenues and we can explain it a little better.
D in the chat, folks. We're going to be there a lot.
Yup. Although, to be fair, that was one of Evie's goals, was to get a gosh darn accurate map.
Yeah, literally.
And she was collecting them.
I will say, as I'm reading the next thing, Ange, did you ever play a game called Skies of Arcadia?
No.
It's for the GameCube. I actually recommend it for any of you guys. It's literally about being sky pirates. It is literally the perfect game to play if you want like a good end to what this is probably going to feel like.
Oh, yay. So either A, is it I'll have to look and see if it is available for the Switch.
Definitely not. This is an old game. Yeah.
Or more accurately, the shop to play.
Definitely not. But you can try. I'm sure you can find. I'm sure with the system I know that you have at home, you can find a way to play it.
I do not have a GameCube.
Sorry, it was for the Dreamcast.
Emulator.
That's what I'm saying.
Yep.
AKA, I'll figure it out.
Yep.
Yep.
All right.
But message me that so I have it in writing.
Sure. Quick set of the homebrew rules. There's more, but these are the simple ones. Taking a potion is a bonus action. Feeding it to someone else is an action. Very simple. Most people use that at this point. Characters gain a point of exhaustion after battle if they fail at least one death save.
Oh.
Yeah, I decided to add something new. Something to make it spicy. Let's have fun with it, guys. Yeah. I try to use passive skill checks. I used to have a list of everybody's skill checks. I don't currently have that in front of me anymore. We'll hopefully before the next time we play, I get everybody's, including Malen's. So I will try to use passive skill checks when possible, for perception and insight and stuff. But when you guys are actively out on a mission, I will then ask for rolls. But for the most part, if I can passively just weave it into the story, I try to.
Wait, passive perception is
And plus your
10 plus.
perception.
Okay, so it's 10.
Nice.
Nice. You probably
Do you want
have
us to put that in the general chat, Vinny, just so you have it?
Sure.
Samesies.
It's fine. Eevee's is like 62 or something.
Yeah, I know.
Eevee's is
20.
Passive
something.
perception is 22. Passive everything else is like just over 10.
My explanation is that she's too busy reading and like doing magic stuff and just doing like hot girl shit to pay attention to anything that's happening around her.
I feel that life, girl.
No, it was basically double. It basically stacked because Rogue and Monk.
Yeah, some people have some fun, ridiculous stuff.
Can you have a passive acrobatics score?
Yeah, I'm going to let everyone have yes.
If I have a passive acrobatics,
passive intimidation is a 21 then.
Yeah, nice, right?
Passive acrobatics would be 25.
I do try to use these when I'm describing stuff. So when the two monks are like animating off the walls, or people are trying to talk to Gron, there's a reason why they're a little standoffish. It's
delightful.
Yeah, we did some ridiculous monk nonsense, didn't we?
It was good times.
A little. Yeah, it was great.
Fate points. This is a new thing I will explain specifically because Malen, I don't believe you were here for fate points, or we had it explained to you at all last time when we had the quick little get together. We do not do inspiration die around here. Well, inspiration for like bards, but not like I give you an inspiration chance. We do what were luck points, and now we are calling fate points, just so there is a different term. They are a set amount of points. I'm gonna give you some at some point because you're new and you're allowed to have some. None of them are. They'll earn them when they want them. You earn them by rolling a crit fail or crit success. Okay. Also, something amusing happens, and I just reward them and feel like it because I'm the DM, and this is the only real thing I control. Because at this point, everyone's too powerful for me to control anything else.
All right.
You can trade these fate points in. There's a description that we have, but most people, you can trade them in either to increase the point value of your roll, either an attack, ability check, or saving throw. So if you roll a 17 on something, but you need to get to 20, you can give 3 fate points to bring yourself up to 20 and then pass that save or hit that AC or whatever. That's usually sense. You can use them on yourself at a 1-to-1 trade. You can use them on other people for a 1-to-2 trade, meaning or 2-to-1 trade, where you have to use 2 to effectively affect 1 point. Okay. So if you have an AC of 16 and someone rolls an 18 and you're trying to get them down, you're going to have to knock them down 3 points, meaning you have to trade 6 points to make it so you don't get hit. It's a little annoying. It's a little annoying, and in some moments we get real crunchy with it. But for the most part, just accumulate points, and then when a big moment happens where you just really want it to work, just chuck all those fate points in, because that's normally what they do.
Okay, cool. Will do.
You being new, you can have 10 fate points. You're welcome to mark that off wherever you want.
Oh. Wow.
Look, you all have points of some.
No, we don't. We're all out.
Whatever.
Look, you all went into a finale and you came out big from the finale.
I didn't use a lot.
I don't want to hear about it. We should have had Bear had collect fate points. That would have been fun.
I still have 12 luck points. Or fate points. I don't know what you're talking about.
See?
I don't know if I have any.
I forgot they were there.
That's fine. That's great. That means you fought without a handicap, which is great.
I would not be surprised if I have more than 0, but shrug.
That's fair.
I have 10. How crazy is that?
It's pretty crazy.
So special.
Welcome to the chaos that is fire.
Spellbook reminders.
Ay.
This is important for wizards and would-be people who want to learn spells. There's easy ways to look up what it is for normal transferring of spells. The additional homebrew rules that we have is that you can, for other people who may want to learn spells, you can roll an Arcana check, which is DC 10 plus the spell level, to see if you can cast the spell, basically using up that scroll in that moment. So any of you could cast a spell if you're willing to make the Arcana check for it. If you want to write down the spell and learn it, and sacrifice either spells you already have, or key points, or other resources, if those are things that people would want to sacrifice, like bardic inspirations or stuff, you can then trade those resources and make an Arcana check of DC 10 plus twice the spell level to learn the spell. So if you wanted to learn Shield, it's a DC, or if you want to use Shield once, it would be a DC 11 check. If you want to learn the Shield spell, it would be a DC 12 Arcana check. Plus you have to either sacrifice one of your own first level spells, or in Corinne or Evie's case, sacrifice a key point, or in Dennis's case, sacrifice like anything. I don't know.
Wait,
Do you have all spellcasting?
Would that be permanent key point or just for the session or for the period key point?
To permanently learn a spell, you would have to sacrifice it permanently. So you would lose a key point to Shield is like the one-on-one example, but like, you know, we'd figure out and do the math depending on what the level of whatever it is you're trying to learn. But if, for instance, you wanted to learn the spell Haste EV to like catch up to Corinne, which I think is a level 3 spell, you could potentially sacrifice 3 key points, or maybe like some of your sneak attack damage or something. I would figure out a trade. I'm willing to trade to let you learn that spell, because I'm pretty sure anyone would learn how to read spell scrolls would in fact learn how to read spell scrolls. So that's a thing we can cover and go over at different points. This big fuck, this annoying piece of shit stuff right here that had to come into existence thanks to Deh-nys, resuscitation. The revival of a human.
I'm a doctor, okay?
Yeah. I both love you for this and I hate you for this, because it made me have to come up with a very fun homebrew mechanic, but one that you broke so fucking bad that you auto-succeeded it. It was insanity. Anyways, if you wish to bring a human life back, you can, if it's within, I think, 10 minutes before they've or after they have passed. And you have to make 10 rounds of medicine checks. The DC starts at 25, and every time they're in, it raises up 1. So basically you have to make 5 checks in a row from DC 25 to DC 29 to bring someone back using just medicinal skills. Literally shouldn't be very possible for most people. Deh-nys is broken. We're just gonna leave it at that. Deh-nys did it and did 6 checks and auto passed it with like 3 rolls, and then like an inspiration and then a help action. It was bullshit. It was great.
Sometimes you just gotta cheat death, you know? Yeah. Just spit right in its face.
Sometimes your character is a doctor, and
why do I feel like at some point
you can't tell them no?
Gonna have like a Final Destination-esque arc where it's like death itself is like, I fucking had enough of you guys.
I've been thinking about pulling a Kravitz out, but I just don't want to, because someone's gonna be like, wow, he's hot, and then we're gonna have to deal with that, and I don't feel like
probably true. And let's be honest, if Death showed up, I would just be like, hey, do you need another follower? And then I'll learn how to be a Death Mage.
Oh God.
I hate it. I love it, but I hate it.
Oh God, why?
There's actually more stuff here because I've made a lot more things since here. If anyone decides they want to use nets, I have changed the way nets work a bit because they made it so nets suck, but nets are actually very useful. If anyone decides they want to use nets, let me know. There are new statistics for it. It's literally on the sheet. Taking 20 is something that I think we started using at the end of Fire, which was basically if you take the time, I think 20 times the normal time to do something. So like picking a log or something. So instead of taking 1 round, you take like 2 minutes to sit and do it. You can automatically count it as a natural 20 and succeed. So when you have the time to sit and fix things or do things, you can auto succeed on those rolls. You know, if you're looking through a library and you have all the time in the world to like look around, you have all the time to just have a nat 20 on a Arcana or an investigation check. I would ask you to use them more sparingly than not, since we have passive checks and you guys are at a very high level where you guys can succeed on the rolls. But if there's time where literally it's like, okay, you guys got 2 days to do whatever you want, I'm going to sit in the library for a day and a half, we can use the take 20s. But that's
Dennis
really
had to commit a heart transplant.
yeah, take 20 for that.
Yep.
Yeah, take. Oh, yeah.
God.
Cool. That is all of the homebrew stuff. That's all the rules. We got that done in like a half hour. That's great. Any questions related to any of that so far?
No.
All right.
How do you feel about the Who?
Which who's?
Yes.
The Dr.
Who.
Seuss who's?
No, the Who.
Like the band?
Yeah.
Mm-hmm. I don't really listen to them.
I've never listened to them as far as I remember, but that's. I know songs, not bands, so that's.
You all make me sad.
That's
Considering for one of my papers in college as a basis point, I used the song, I believe it's Baba O'Reilly and T.S. Eliot, and compared it to T.S. Eliot.
Proofs.
I mean, why are you bringing this up?
That's
Is
a
it
good
that
question.
our
It's
launch
real,
of the
this
airship needs to be
entire
backed by Teenage
conversation
Wasteland,
very
or
quickly.
I somehow understood that.
You know what? What is the airspeed
No.
velocity?
African or European.
Okay. For that instance, we're going to take a quick break for people to get water, go to the bathroom, and prepare. When we come back, we are going to explain the fire arc to you guys and explain these characters. That's the rest of this. That's the rest of this session. We'll be right back.
It's gonna be.
She and Helith have been talking about traveling around so that Lyra can build up her seed collection because she really wants to collect more. Mel!
Mel.
That's not what we mean!
There was a pause, okay? In my defense, there was a pause.
Whatever you...
My grandfather loves boxed wine, so maybe this is actually a good thing.
What's up, Aasimar?
Something that is at least older than 15 years.
In a box?
In a box.
Do boxes live that long?
No, absolutely not.
I just
This
enjoy the phrase these
conversation.
boxes live that long.
This conversation.
Emphasis on live.
This is how I die, folks. Goodbye.
Maybe. And then everything goes to shit. So Sid, who has been raising... Sorry. That was the best thing I've seen all day, sorry.
Oh, I heard a thunk that was definitely not part of the routine, turned around, and someone let the body hit the floor. I don't know who. Yeah, you want to use that? I'm gonna make it fit.
I'm gonna be like,
It doesn't matter. You've been gone for 6 months. You didn't say a word. That's not that long.
At this
I'm sorry, you up and left your partner for 6 months without a single Word. Do you have any idea how often I try to talk to my girlfriend because I can't see her that often?
Friend?
Like, what the fuck is your problem?
I'm sorry. Who are you?
At this time,
Sid.
Bells and
Friends?
Bara appear as well.
My name's Kind. It is not my pleasure to make your acquaintance.
Likewise.
It's water.
Ooh. I like this.
Um,
I like your
and
funny
I-
words, Magic Man.
and I am going to open the stopper, point it directly at this Goliath sitting in front of me, and just say, Geyser. Which, do you need me to read the description of Geyser?
Nope, got it right here.
Okay.
Let's see.
Brig is about to fuck shit up, and I'm
so
here
for it. Potentially.
If instead of just knocking them prone, I can knock them off the tower, that would be ideal. That would be so good.
I'll allow it because it does
So
say
good.
that an object can get knocked over. So.
I don't know.
I help.
I have corpse anxiety.
I
I want a shirt that says corpse anxiety.
I have corpse anxiety.
And maybe you guys are able to stealth around in the zoo. The animals are helping you. They don't know what you're doing, but they like go in front of you when the time is right.
Help.
Missy is very noticeable. I would say Missy probably does not help. But like there's a giant elk who's just like standing there, takes 2 steps forward to block your view, to block the view for a second, 2 steps back. So yeah, you guys are able to spy as these two go around and, you know, check out like all the animals. That was creepy.
It's some makeup.
Sid gets a sending message and just hears in their minds.
Oh fuck. Oh fuck. Oh fuck. Oh fuck.
Here's Mama, I haven't failed you yet. Much improved. Where the hell have you been? Miss you. Fuck him up.
I will say you don't get that message.
What?
What?
You're not playing that character right now. You don't know what's going on. Sid, you have a nice daydream about a message from Maybe.
Oof.
Minnie. Ow.
Vincent, the fuck?
It's like, what are you doing out here? What?
I work in this town, darling. I don't understand why you're so confused about why I
Dead
exist
body?
in this area.
Dead body. And Reverb's
I
just
have
like,
friends. I don't understand how to explain to you that I have a life separate from you. Okay? Thanks.
don't have to do this right now.
I mean, why not? Why not do it right now? You seem more than happy to embarrass me in front of any other people. You do it at my work constantly.
You watch Mogan be like, okay, if this is going to be a piss party, can you two take it about 20 feet that way while I talk it to these people?
No, I'm truly not interested. Everybody is aware of our relationship, and I am not interested in further pursuing it.
Edric gets, like, red-faced as Mogan just, like, okay, just come.
Can I have my ring back?
I think it's your turn.
Ooh. They decide what they're gonna do.
That's a 3.
Are they still holding Kind?
Yeah.
They're gonna just. Where's your hand?
This one.
They're gonna just grab the finger and just put it on. And give a little pat. And then sort of like
So gay over there.
awkwardly shuffle away to go talk to Bells.
Kin just lets out a dying gasp in your arms as that's going.
Grandma! There it is!
I love it's just slowly
back.
getting darker.
It's back for season 2.
That was.
I'm not drowning.
That was,
I am swimming so good.
that was kind of the. That was kind of the energy that got tossed
I don't
out.
want to die.
Didn't we? I just talked to you guys.
Yes, darling, catch up.
Not sure what would happen if I did that.
I'm also scared to know what would happen if we took the flower.
Do it. This is not Ethel speaking.
That's Kareen.
This is Kareen, the Chaos Gremlin speaking.
Let's just see what happens.
Your chaos is showing, Kareen.
I know. It doesn't come out very often.
Take the flower.
What?
I'm gonna take the flower.
Alright.
We're gonna end up dead.
You have the
find
flower. You watch as the body begins to decompose at a much quicker rate.
Oh
Put it
shit!
I put it back.
You can put it.
So she comes out of the temporary hit points and just kind of collapses in on a cloud of darkness, and out from the cloud comes Lyra with her skull mask on and one yellow eye just glowing, and she is crackling in spore energy. She's still got the veins and everything, but she's raving and she is ready to go. She's got no scratches, nothing.
Fuck it up.
Yes.
Fuck it up.
Hey, baby girl. My puppy is bothering me.
Oh, sorry. I thought you were talking to me.
No, we don't do pet names on stream. That's not the worst thing that's been done in the last 10 minutes.
It's truly not. I don't know. I was gonna make faces anyway. What do you want from me, Vincent? It's very reaction.
This thing has exactly 8.
Cheers.
Cheers to that. Cheers to that shit.
All right.
Are you guys drinking? One of you is the red character, the other is the blue character. Okay.
Not on purpose.
Darn it.
I just like cherry and they like blue raspberry.
All right, red character and blue character. It's fine.
Accurate.
It matches your classes too.
I know.
Necromancer and Paladin, even though you're a barbarian right now, I don't care.
That's what I'm getting at.
I know the others are at the door. I'm gonna say it quiet enough that they can't hear me say her name.
Mm-hmm.
And I'm just gonna say, Irona, I'll be here to help you. We got this mess started, and I'll help you get out of it too.
Cool. So Kind immediately locks eyes on Yvette and starts swinging a hand back to start casting some shit.
Nope.
That also gets fucked.
No.
Bells is gonna jump in between.
Wizard duel. Anyways.
No, this is the real one.
This
one's my fiance.
They just saved you. They just saved you.
I just healed your ass. I'll take it back.
All right.
Bells is fluttering in the air in between Kind and Yvette.
Okay. She kind of just processes for a second and she just goes, "This ass is reserved. Thank you very much." And just gets up and starts dusting herself off.
Amen.
Matt.
What's the Lord's Prayer? How does it start?
I don't know, but I'll make one
our
up.
DM who art in heaven, who art in crit roll.
Our DM who are in Cali.
In crit roll land. Sandria, 19.
Thy wisdom come, thy perception be done.
Everyone can write that up
for a minute. I'm
gonna
make up a whole Matt Mercer prayer.
On Earth as it is in Alexandria. And
Alexandria.
give us this day.
Wait, where are we? What's where we're
our
going?
daily crits.
This is our daily crits.
Anyways.
Alright, I rolled a 19.
What's a 19?
You just know it's just Scanlan and Lee.
A 19. Maybe it's still scowling. It slowly fades. Still disapproving, but no more.
And maybe you guys are able to stealth around in the zoo. The animals are helping you. They don't know what you're doing, but they like go in front of you when the time is right.
Help.
Missy is very noticeable. I would say Missy probably does not help. But like there's a giant elk who's just like standing there, takes 2 steps forward to block your view, to block the view for a second, 2 steps back. So you guys are able to spy as these two go around and, you know, check out like all the animals. That was creepy.
It's the makeup. Cheers.
Cheers.
To that.
Cheers to that shit.
All right.
Are you guys drink? One of you is the red character, the other is the blue character. Okay.
Not on purpose.
Darn it.
I
call
just like
bullshit.
cherry and they like blue raspberry.
All right, red character and
it's
blue
so
character. It's fine.
Accurate.
It matches your classes too.
I know!
Necromancer and Paladin, even though you're a barbarian right now, I don't care.
That's what I'm getting at.
It doesn't matter. You've been gone for 6 months and you didn't say a word.
That's not that long.
At this
I'm sorry, you up and left your partner for 6 months without a single word? Do you have any idea how often I try to talk to my girlfriend because I can't see her that often?
Friend?
Like, what the fuck
sorry.
is your problem?
I'm sorry. Who are you?
At this time,
it.
Bells and
Friends?
Bara appear as well.
My name's Kim. It is not my pleasure to make your acquaintance.
Likewise.
Google Meets. Okay. Hello. We are back, y'all. Sorry for that extended break. So long of like 30 seconds.
4 years.
That was a noise. Did you say 4 years?
Yes.
Okay. My brain did not process it at first. It was just 4 years. Cool. Now we're in the part of the journey. Bless you.
Thank you.
Where everyone introduces their character and explains it a little bit to you, so you know who they are, whomst they are. Next time there will be artwork and accompanying nameplates, so like it's easier to tell. But at the very least, you can get a description of what their bit of their backstory and a little bit of the journey they've been on so far. Malen, we'll save you for very last, and we're going to go to everybody else first. But we will do the same process as last time. Deh-nys, you're first.
Pretty good. Are you sure?
Fine. Corinne, you're first.
I'm first?
Mm-hmm.
Oh, God.
You're the quickest. Highest initiative. You gotta go first.
Okay. Yeah, no, that's fair. Let's see. Corinne, she's kind of tall, I think we said. Let me check her bio stats on the sheet. Corinne is 5'10". She is very like athletically built. She has sort of grayish but with like a purplish pink tinge to her hair, sort of silvery. Her skin is sort of a warm bronzy color, with white tattoos that run in geometric patterns all over her. And she has like amber eyes with a little bit of like violet flecked within them and some gold. And she wears pretty like I don't know, her outfits I always draw as like a mix of sci-fi and fantasy, because that's my jam. Yep. And I wouldn't describe it as like ho-ish, but she likes a crop top and some short shorts.
Respect. So, what's her name?
Gotta flaunt it.
What's her name from What's her name from Fairy Tale?
Oh God, I haven't read that in forever.
Lucy?
But yeah,
partly
she dresses that way because her tattoos need to be recharged with sunlight. And so it's just easier if she can like lose a vest and her little like skirt wrap thing and be pretty much ready to go for her morning meditation. She is she's an Aasimar. I don't think we have to keep that secret. She is a monk of the Sun Soul and a light cleric. And what else do you want besides physical stuff, Vinny?
You worship Helm. That's a big thing.
Yep,
Like her
Helm
whole
is her
deal.
deity. She comes from a monastery where all of the, students and teachers there are chosen by a certain deity and are gifted with these magical tattoos, which then they use to go out in the world and try to help people with. It's an interesting sort of duality going on where you have the Sun Soul monks, which generally are assigned gods of like the good aligned spheres, and then the shadow monks, which more often than not get paired with a sort of evil, quote unquote, deity. But the monks themselves are taught to like resist the pull of evil and use that as a way to like recognize evil in the world in order to prevent it and turn folks away from that path. And yeah, personality wise, she is just a shonen anime protagonist. She wants to be the best. She got to go fast. If you're bad, she will punch you. Sometimes
slightly annoying. She will punch you.
If you challenge her to a fight, she will punch you. And in all of these cases, sometimes that fist is glowing with a bunch of radiant electricity and energy and stuff. As I mentioned in the intro, she's got a new companion. In the original campaign, she had a Tamarin named Widget, who was her little friend, who she gifted into foster care with Gromagul, who you'll hear about in a minute. And her new companion is Arvin, what Vinny calls a fauna forged, because it's a homebrew item, basically a little robotic animal companion that can take the form of a weapon, armor, and a familiar. And Arvin is super smart. She's way smarter than Corinne, and what a blessing it is to have that character now on my shoulder at all times.
Yeah, she's very fun. Sometimes we play her sort of like Tony Stark's like Friday voice armor. Sometimes we play it as like just like a very smart sidekick, but it's a very fun little addition for when you appear someplace and it's like, you should have knowledge of this. Well, guess what? Arvin has the knowledge.
Arvin has knowledge. Corinne's impulse control is non-existent, but she has a really big heart, and I like playing a chaotic character who is just like wants to do so much good and is very impatient about doing that.
That was actually a single sentence sum up of what she is. That's great.
Yeah. So that's enough for me. Somebody else talk.
Right. We're gonna just go counterclockwise now. So I'm gonna bring it up for Gromagul and Bear.
All right, and Bear, and Armadillos, and now Widget. Yep, I play Gromagul, who is a half-orc barbarian rogue, specifically a barbarian of the Bear Totem. I traded all of my money, like pre-game money, and magical items to have this brown bear, who is souped up and the best of boys. And yeah, he has one goal in his entire life, and that is to preserve all of the nature that exists right now, and to crush anything that gets in his way of that. And recently, in the previous campaign, acquired a warlock patron, a dragon who does not get along with my friend Corinne. But he helped us save a bunch of animals from a fiery explosion. For that, I am grateful and will continue to help him and his peoples. Bear is just as much of a eco-enthusiast.
I don't think that's the word
we
used.
That is not the word used.
The word we use.
That's the word I'm using right now.
I don't think that word means what you think it means.
It's fine.
We can retcon it later.
It's fine. It's fine. Bear is as much of an enthusiast as Gromagul, and Possibly more so. He carries all of the money. And this is a good segue into who's up next? Is it Evie or Deh-nys?
Evie.
It's Evie. Okay, never mind. It's not a good segue.
It's a bad segue. It's Evie.
It's a bad segue. He's a singer in a band.
To be fair, I think almost everyone joined that.
Everyone's in the band, right?
Except Evie. That's
Except
the point.
Evie, which is the great part.
He's our manager.
Yeah, exactly.
That
like from Metalocalypse.
Yes. Evie is a Eladrin elf. But unlike most Eladrin, does not keep up with the appearance. She could care less. The standard elven features, the skin, think some level of Legolas from Lord of the Rings, except not nearly as clean and pretty. Almost equal parts monk and rogue. For the monk portion, spent time in the Temple of the Four Elements. So while Kirin has a god, Evie kind of not so much, and kind of took the more spiritual aspects of it, and doesn't necessarily have a patron god or anything other than like the elements themselves. And Evie also spent a lot of time on a pirate ship, and I'm not sure what else. Really, what else? No, Evie's big thing, after spending time at the temple, her big thing is everybody gets a chance at redemption. So if there is a fight and we can resolve it with nobody dying, she does not want to see people die.
And she's tall as heck.
Yep.
Standard elf.
Well, you also got an enhancement.
You got
for
like
height,
enlarged.
Oh,
and then
that's
you also
right.
but then you got a reduction in height, and then you got another enhancement in height.
She's fucking tall.
Basically, Evie, I forgot about that because that was a thing where I picked a keyword and it didn't match at all. But Evie is larger than a normal elf. But it doesn't matter because it doesn't
really affect too much anyways.
It does not affect her ability to backflip off of literally anything, including the rigging of said pirate ship.
Yeah, which you do with relative ease at this point anyways.
Damn it.
Yeah. Evie is our we had two monks from very different temples, which was very fun. Seeing how their different ideals interacted sometimes. From Evie, we're going to go back down to the most normal of them all, Deh-nys.
Yep.
Our casual Kenku in a suit.
Yeah. Deh-nys is just a regular everyday Kenku. I mean, he's done nothing impressive entirely in his life. Absolutely.
I'm calling shenanigans
it?
there.
Should I? Okay. So Deh-nys is complicated. He is a doctor. He was for a period of time of his life, a trapeze artist. He learned how to be a wizard. He got bard lessons from some spooky angelic monster. He's patrons with an elder elemental princess and a big firebird. He's complicated. He was at one point recently knighted, became a sir, big paladin order, and his most recent achievement was while Arvin was being created, took the first steps to become a artificer, and then attempted to create his own Arvin, which was a monstrosity. That was just a weird umbrella telescope monster. That was his 7th class out of 14.
Forgot the ghost barber.
Oh yeah, that's right. He became a ghost barber, which
You
was
gained a lot of weird skills in a very short amount of time.
His ghost barbership was probably the most key skill he has learned through the entire campaign.
It really was.
It was. It was important. I mean, past that, he's just a normal, regular, everyday Kenku.
He intentionally blew us up
outside of that
when we already fixed, had the solution.
Yep, that's true. On his off times, he likes hanging out with his figurines of Wondrous Power, which are the Golden Lions. During the campaign, he had one for every day of the week. Only one of them was a set. That was the weekend, naturally. Now he has a bucket of them because Vinny's a monster. None of them match, and he's very upset about this.
It's his own fault. He chose it.
His outfit doesn't match. Why would he care?
That's right. His outfit is considered eclectic, and I'm pretty sure Natalie has sent me at least one death threat over it. Yeah, that's it. Just little things. Oh, on his off time, whenever we've gone to a hotel, he has created. You called them installations, Vinny. That's the best way to put them.
Installations is what they
Pillows.
It's art. I'm proud of it.
Thanks. Dennis has a complete disregard for hotel staff.
Yeah, at all. He's
tossing a link up into the chat. Just on it. That is our Discord. So if you ever did want to chat with us, hang out with us, and stuff. And meet up with other community members, that is a good place to do it. That is just a quick spotlight of that before we move on to our newest member of the crew, Malen.
Hello.
Malen, share whatever you wish to share about yourself.
Malen is a human wizard. She stands probably about 5'10", but is about I don't want to say 6'7" with this giant hat. Her outfit is very Elden Ring from Softy, because that is my brain rot currently. She's got just some robes, dress kind of thing. Her hair is dark or a mousy brown with the very e-girl blonde in the front, and then there's some blonde streaks that go through her two little braids that she has. I say too little, they're very long. And yeah, she spent most of her life studying magic with her dad, and now that he's off doing retirement stuff, she's off trying to make the biggest ever library of magical knowledge that there ever was.
A solid goal. We have yet to figure out how Malen meets up with the rest of the group as a new arrival. But considering we are already having you pay for another wizard, you probably could have just paid for a bunch of wizards. And Malen just happened to be one y'all enjoyed very much.
We had discussed a potential way to meet them.
I don't remember it. I've had a very long week.
She was selling lemonade for spell scrolls, and we said,
"Oh, no."
And adopted them, and basically were like, "You want spell scrolls? Yeah, whatever you want," and bought them every spell scroll in the book.
The more likely reason, the way you guys met Malen, was she was running from the cops. She was feeling some shit. She had asked nicely, and they said no, and she said okay.
So you probably hide behind this giant brown bear and then just
or
fall
the monks
the
monks grabbed her and ran.
It's running with a very small half-orc.
Yep.
Dennis just stayed behind and started talking to the cops and beat them up, or
just beat up the cop. Okay,
or just bought him stuff. I don't know. We have a lot of money.
Malen running from the cops gets kidnapped. Now the cops are like, is this a kidnapping and also a theft? I'm confused. Now we are being assaulted? What's happening here?
If there's a crime on a crime, is it just normal activity, or is it?
Do we let it happen?
Evie and Corinne would see it not as kidnapping, but saving Malen from the cops.
Well, we would do it the same way that Team Avatar would do it. If Bear likes you, you're in.
Yep.
See, Evie might think it was saving Malen from the cops. Corinne would pay the cops for whatever Malen took and then give you a stern talking to, but then be like, all right, now let's go on an adventure.
And Malen, like, in one ear, out the other, like, yeah, sure, totally.
Don't steal. We have money. You don't need to steal.
Behind Corinne, just like, don't listen to her.
And Evie would. Yeah.
Evie would.
Evie would just roll her eyes that they do not steal because that's kind of part of her upbringing, or part of her background, even if it's not necessary.
Come on, guys, this is my whole thing.
All right.
I don't care.
All characters are relatively established at this point. Malen, you get to sit back and relax, because now it's the job of these four to tell me the story of Fire-Arc.
I think we'll remember the plot this time.
It all started.
No, you won't. It's gonna be real bad.
With a concert.
Yep. It started with a
Started
concert.
for the protest.
You were at Kalen's Cove. Opening. Scene begins. Kalen's Cove.
I kind of hate those of you who started the music comments, because now my brain went, that's great, it starts with an earthquake.
Nice.
Yep.
So
yes, I was protesting with Bear outside of this. What was that? A ritzy casino?
Yep.
Yep.
My ship,
where it was snowing in a place in a time where it wasn't supposed to be snowing. So
Yeah, it was midsummer in the tropics and there was snow outside. Yeah, it was a little
There's
weird.
a problem.
And my pirate ship's crew was there on a much needed break from work, and most of them were off basically spending all of their hard-earned pay at the casino.
Yep.
But Evie kind of was just like,
Chilling.
no, just kind of chilling, making sure nobody got into any trouble. But of course, trouble found us.
I believe Deh-nys and Corinne were part of the Poison Minstrels band playing at this casino during that, fortuitous night.
With Bear. Bear was, I believe, the lead singer.
Bear became the lead singer, or was?
Oh yes.
You ran into Bear.
Yep.
Oh, who's an old friend of Dennis's?
Yeah, because we were asked to step inside because we were scaring the people outside. And either you saw Bear or Bear saw you and just ran over to each other. And I was like, take a break. It's fine.
And he looked
at me.
I looked at him. Anyways, yeah. And then, middle of the night, during all these activities, some people got under attack, assassinated by members of the Undertow. A group that you guys ended up running into like 4 different times.
And that was the first instance of how much speed can a monk cover in one round?
Yeah, with both of you guys trying to push those limits to the max, which you definitely did. We had a flying warlock at that point, which did get was a player that was then at that kitty was dropped. Look at that chubby little fun one.
No.
I love cats. Yeah, you guys helped you helped stop a murder/theft. So good on you guys for that.
Preemptively solved a murder.
I didn't do anything.
I threw a javelin.
You did not. 2 of you, I'm pretty sure both of you two. Gromagul, I think, got up to the roof last, but Deh-nys did nothing.
I threw a javelin into somebody's face, I think.
Yeah. Which is, I think, why Deh-nys was so confused the whole time, because I never remember that at all. I wasn't involved. I was just playing music. It was great.
True.
There was a big news broadcast.
There was a new news broadcast on some crystals telling you guys that the Kingdom of Tinaril was offering a big reward for anyone who could go to Sage Cinder and find the prophet from there. Known as the prophet.
Already forgotten him.
Prophet
Not
named
Laz.
Luz.
Nope, it was
that you guys ended up calling Laz.
It's definitely Laz.
That was a
Dennis's
mistake.
fault.
Session 1.
Look, so I
tired.
put my backstory. My teacher for wizard was named Laz, who was a prophet, and then this person decides to put in the main foil, who's called Luz, who's a prophet. Naturally, Dennis just confuses it and goes, "I know that person. Let's go get him. That's my old friend Laz, who I haven't seen in forever."
To be fair, that NPC existed before your character did.
Not true. Not at all. I don't believe it.
Not in Dennis's mind.
Nope, because he's
maybe
not
not. Yeah,
Laz.
probably not in Dennis's mind.
And therefore not in any of ours.
Apparently.
And this just adds to the chaos.
But then you all got onto Evie's captain's ship at that time and sailed away with a couple excursions here and there in between, and eventually got to the wonderful little amusement area known as Morphe's Magical Isle.
AKA Disney World.
Shh, we can't say that here.
Well, technically, we had an adventure on the ocean before that.
You did. You guys did do some things, and you're welcome to talk about that if you'd like.
Well, we met a cool fish.
Did.
Jumped into the owner's house. Nearly killed his dad.
That's later.
That's
No,
later,
we met a cool fish on the ocean, and then went to like a weird
Fish is the reason I got big.
Yeah, it was a bunch of pillars in the ocean.
Yeah,
that made, like, a
that's how I get
maze. And then we found some ghosts of giants
Yep.
in this like cool giant ritual where Corinne nearly achieved the challenge, but because she's Corinne and eventually ran out of ways
Impatient.
to dodge damage, was like, I guess maybe I'm supposed to fight? Punch? Nope, fail. And so instead, Grom walked in and did the same challenge and just tanked all the damage, and that was apparently the right thing to do.
And I got a really cool hammer.
Evie does not remember any of this.
We did all get cool powers, though.
Yes.
Corinne got really good hearing. Widget,
Actually,
I think, just became a monk.
Actually, I think this might have been
A session
thing.
that you didn't make.
Yeah, because the only thing I got was I got big.
You got, there were a variety. They went to something called the Amun Route, was basically the meeting of the 6 giant clans, which, for those of you who know D&D lore, there is Hill Giant, Stone Giant, Cloud, Storm, Frost, and Fire, I believe. And here they had a few challenges that they all solved, which was great. End results ended up with Bear getting enlarged, then Bear and Widget both gaining climbing and swimming speeds, which was very funny. And then everyone else got either a power or something, and I think, Evie was the only one who didn't get something because you weren't there, so you ended up also just getting size increase. Oh no, you got, one of you got advantage with smell checks, and one of you got advantage with sight checks, with
No.
hearing checks.
I got the hearing check advantage.
And that never came up for me.
I got a stealth check in
got a
rocky
little
terrain.
Right, yeah. Everyone got weird particulars that we made up.
And I ended up literally just getting the size boost.
Which then got reduced later on, which was also very funny.
Because I literally, because it basically came down to afterwards a sidebar with what is the likelihood you would have chosen the fire keyword, and it's like 90 to 95% unless I was given a reason not to.
Yeah.
Oh, we ran into a turtle.
It was selling honey.
Who sold honey out of his beacomb shell.
I remember that.
And ghosts.
Yep.
Ghost ship.
That's right.
That's how you became a ghost barber, and I learned how to make sushi.
Yep.
And I learned
Ghost
that,
sushi.
and I learned that the map that I was given was not the same. It was the maps that I had were supposed to match and didn't, because one of them was so much older than the other.
Yep. Y'all learned some stuff on the ghost ship, getting new skills, meeting new people. Grom got a new hammer beforehand and started learning about using its powers. You did meet, I forget the name of the turtle, but a turtle that has reappeared a couple times on the ocean, who literally just has a ship made of honeycomb and also has a shell made of honeycomb, and just rolls around on that and sells the honey and the honeycomb to people, where he basically worked as potions, where you guys all grabbed some, enjoyed it. You guys had some pleasant conversations with him. And then you arrived at Morphe's Magical Mind. And then it all kind of went to shit.
Totally stayed on track.
Mm-hmm. I'm pretty sure we did an entire session of us just being at the amusement park.
Which was, the point of it. I wanted basically a session of you guys just futzing around, and we
it was like 4 sessions of futzing around.
That's fair.
I love futzing.
Was it graphic?
How many sessions was that supposed to be, out of curiosity?
Tungsten.
Yeah, you guys met Tungsten.
F that guy.
Oh, Tungsten. That guy's no good.
You guys were never sure if you liked him at all. It was always unspecified.
Oh! Barkers.
Tungsten's bad news. Yeah, we got a dog, right? Okay, listeners? We bought a cool-ass white wolf. It was giant. It was amazing. It was friendly. It followed us around, and then it walked away. And I got real worried. And I went to go look for my fucking dog, and it turns out Vinny lied to me, and he was just some asshole druid. So I punched him, and then I punched his boss. And I think I maybe punched everyone he worked with.
You punched
I threatened them for sure, and basically said, "You're all terrible. Do better," and left in an angry huff.
There was we established, I think, at that point that Corinne has a real easy switch to hit.
Yep.
If I remember correctly, Evie had to play the cleanup with that mess by going in afterwards and talking to everybody, because Evie was off doing not recon work while that was happening.
Yep.
Yeah.
It's literally been in my ideals since I made the character sheet. Assholes are not tolerated, so I felt like I wasn't straying very far from the original concept.
No, it really did. It made for a great couple of sessions.
Oh.
And to be fair, if my cat turned into some random dude, I would also punch him in the face. So
I've never forgiven Vinny.
The anger at the end of that session was real. It was actual real anger.
She was furious.
I was so betrayed. I've
so
never
good.
been more betrayed in a session of gaming in my entire life. Ugh, you can't just give your players a dog and then have it turn out to be some jerk, Vinny.
Untrue. You in fact can, and I did.
And while we were at Morpheus, the other thing we discovered was the drug trade and Blackwatch.
That's true.
Yeah.
Oh yeah, and they were pumping stuff into the air without people knowing it.
And then Grom in the fight ring.
Oh yeah, I was in the fight ring.
I do not remember what who the challenger was.
It was
like a teleporting dwarf.
Yeah.
Reheated. That's what happened.
And he had a spirit dagger because I took the totem of the bear, which makes me immune to so many, not immune, but resistant to so many types of damage.
Everything but psychic. Psychic was the only thing.
Mm-hmm.
Yep.
And then I went to get it, and it fucking dissipated.
Pretty sure it was Tungsten's fault.
I agree.
You also got bouncy balls. We got to remember that you did win.
Listen, we're getting to that.
And stuffed animals.
We won 12 unicorn plushies.
Lion plushies.
And lion plushies.
They were different. You chose them. There's a dragon one, a unicorn. There was a bunch of them.
I think there was a griffin in there.
Yep.
Oh, and the most important thing happened. You met Clementine.
I did.
Yeah.
We met Clementine and all her coworker friends. Clementine is the sweetest rabbit folk. Was she the fruit vendor?
She was, I believe so.
Yeah, the sweetest rabbit folk smoothie barista you ever could meet.
The dancer.
Corinne instantly fell in love. And then got a date to like the dance in the barn that was like a thing at Morphe's.
Yep.
And
I might
yeah,
have embarrassed you at that too.
that was later, I think.
Yeah, it was actually during the date.
It was during
So
the date.
before the date, we broke into the owner's personal home
Right.
by physically tearing off the grating into his return vent.
Yeah, you guys went up on top of all of the giant flowers and mushrooms and stuff that were around, and went down one of the secret vents that one of them where they were pumping out these drugs, and just slid down it like it was a fun tube ride.
Yep.
Yep.
We found
I
out
believe that. I believe the hashtag for that session was "How many nat ones can a rogue roll on stealth?"
Oh my
That sounds
god.
about right.
But we
I
found
believe-
out that Morphe is not actually still in charge anymore. His son is, who's a changeling and can
Pretending
look like
to be
him.
Morphe.
Yep.
Mhm.
And so, and they have like a fairy as their partner, and they can also disguise themselves to be Morphe's old wife who died. And then Morphe went senile, and because he's a wild magic sorcerer, that's a really bad thing. And so that's how the drug problem happened, because this kid got in deep with the evil
Black
fantasy
Watch.
mafia. And then, yeah.
Because Blackwatch was the group that screwed Evie over before this, so Evie basically went and backstabbed them.
Can we talk about how hilariously psychotic those last like 4 sentences sound to like a random person?
You wrote it, Vinny.
I know, it's just hilarious. As
You
shit.
made it
That's
real.
all. It's just so funny hearing it out of context, being like, man, if I was a stranger walking into this right now.
Vinny, is
threaten
Morphe's kid
Mel's
Mel's dad?
That's not a Mel's business. It doesn't matter.
God.
Mel, I think we met your dad.
Mel, you are currently
Almost
just
bouncy ball.
You're just a
yes.
A viewer.
Somebody else. All right,
You're just
I don't
a
know.
viewer at the moment. Sorry.
No, that's you. Oh God, what the fuck?
I think you're in trouble.
I'm never in trouble with Mel.
Anyway, then we went to the dance, and there was a nice bit of a party, but not really, because then a
hell
bunch
broke
of cultists showed up and caused problems.
Yep.
Slug
And,
parties. Man. Wait, weren't the cultists Undertow?
Yes.
I think it was Undertow. Yeah.
The fight was actually pretty cool. We
It
got
was
to
a
fight,
very
like,
cool fight.
A
weird fight.
big old barbarian fella, and Corinne like teamed up on the guy with their ex.
Oh yeah, Rika showed up at Morphe's.
Rika showed up.
You, Rika, and
my old instructor.
You, Rika, and
One
Clem,
of
though,
them.
had like a combo move happen, which was really fun.
Yep.
I think during then that was like the final strike. Against the
Rika,
Barbarian.
for people, she's a tiefling. She's a shadow monk, dragon sorcerer. So like the exact opposite of Corinne, which is just me playing up the Naruto Sasuke / every shonen anime vibe.
Corinne is a potato, and Rika is the foil.
Yep.
I see what you did there, and I hate it.
You're welcome.
Really, what I think it was that Rika is the Sasuke to Corinne's Bakugo.
That hurt my brain. Please don't
your
say that.
Sora. But you know what I mean.
Yeah.
Yeah, I suppose.
Yeah. But anyway, she showed up, and it was awkward because they dated for a while and then realized, nah, we shouldn't do that.
Yep. Also, Evie's old instructor Felicity showed up as well.
Mm-hmm.
Everyone from both of your temples seemed to be here on a different mission than what you guys were originally on. But as you were the only people who, besides like one or two other people, that stayed conscious when the entire room was put to sleep, you guys were able to save fake Morphe from being killed. You were able to save random people from being killed. You started waking people up. Basically, you saved the party. Good on you guys. You did a good job.
And that's when they gave us a guide.
And when we got our first hotel.
That's right.
Yep, this was hotel stay number 1, which ended very unfortunately.
And we set pillows on fire.
Yeah, the hotel staff did not.
Was
No.
that the night I took Clem out to the lake?
Yeah.
No,
Oh,
that was the return trip, I think.
It was?
Oh.
I think so. I don't remember.
I thought the
happened.
return trip, you messed with me and I couldn't actually have the date that I had planned with Clem. So I
When
think
the
it was
date-
after the fight
Wait.
that I Clem and
No,
Corinne
'cause
went out
when
to the
the-
lake and kind of
When
danced.
because when the date actually happened, that was later.
Yeah.
Because Evie ended up interrupting it because our bosses basically mandated our presence.
That was date number 2.
That was date number 2. Either way,
Yeah.
we don't have to get lost
But
in
anyway.
the super particulars anyways.
Regardless.
After your long rest at the hotel / art installation, you guys set off to go find Sage Cinder through the tangled jungle and the I forget what the name of the desert was actually too. But you go through a jungle and a desert to try to go find Sage Cinder, where you deal with
Dino friends.
Yeah. You can't gloss over that. I made one of my
I want to so badly.
You're not gonna drive by this.
Oh god.
So the jungle was fantastic because we got to meet all like the like crazy dragon dinos that Vinny had cooked up, and that's where we got to meet. No, the fun little armadillo, the white dragon armadillos was later.
Yep.
But we met like a bunch of like really cool dragon dinosaurs.
This was
Like,
the
this is
baby
awesome.
This was the baby T-Rex.
Yes,
Yep.
and look, we came across a mom and a baby red dragon T-Rex, and we didn't succeed at stealth. So what do? The Kenku decides, I'm gonna cast Speak with Animals. I'm gonna go make a friend, and he went and made a friend with the baby T-Rex, and then they beat up his mom, and then some like really rude velociraptor showed up, and me and the baby T-Rex played tag with them aggressively. And then we picked the mom back up and was like, look. And then we tried to teach her, I think, government stuff or like sociology.
You tried to make a carnivore not a carnivore anymore, which Grom, like, I believe really did not like you doing. Because she's a carnivore and that's what she needs to eat.
Well, yeah. But I think
the stomach's not going to handle the fiber
Guys,
of
we can't
plant matter.
we can't rehab the entire argument again.
Well, hold on.
I do want to point out that Corinne, I pretty much want to say soloed that dragon T-Rex.
Yes.
Because
Yeah,
everyone else was either like messing up or trying a different thing or not wanting to engage.
How many
and so I
nat
was
ones?
just like, well, full power,
How many
I
nat
guess.
ones did I roll during that?
A lot.
A
You
lot.
rolled a
You
lot.
need new dice.
It's where the meme came from.
That was roll 20. Thank you very much.
Yeah.
But yes.
And but I made a friend, and if I do remember, I tried teaching the mom T-Rex to not be a carnivore, but be a dictator. Didn't work. And then I believe we left the jungle and got out the rest of it pretty safe. And we got to the edge of the desert, and that's where we all remembered we had no fucking clue what the plot was.
Yes, but before that, this is an important part of the story, and I don't want to hesitate to indulge in it. But my favorite part about the dinosaur forest was that Vinny gave us this NPC guide who basically said, all right, here's
Stay
the
on the
path.
path. Yep,
Let's
stay on-
stay on it. And we were like, then what are you here for? Because we wanted to meet all the dinosaurs, and the guide was the entire time going, you guys really shouldn't be doing this. And we're just like, we've got it handled, my guy. We've been off the path the whole time. Why are you here? Go home. You're useless.
And that's when
and this is when I
people-
realized that Corinne was very impatient about saving the world.
Kirin ran off. Evie basically ran off after you so you didn't get killed.
And then the rest of the group followed at like a snail's pace
But
comparatively.
to be fair, I soloed the biggest, baddest thing in the forest, so there was never any danger.
It's true. And then I yeah.
But yeah, anyway, we forgot what the plot was.
The
'cause-
guide's purpose is to make sure no one poaches or kills the animals.
You're telling me you're basically on a safari, and the guy's like, stay on the truck, stay on the road, don't engage with things. And you were like, fuck you, actually, and suplexed the lion and then ran off into the Sahara on your own.
I think we had
Accurate.
I think
That's 100% accurate.
That's exactly what happened.
1 part Jurassic Park, 1 part Jumanji.
Yep.
I respect this.
It was wonderful.
And then we got to everyone's favorite portion, which was the desert part.
The
where
desert.
we all got to deal with riddles and
we met the real villain.
Yeah,
My
Riddles get along
patron.
with the biggest jerk of the campaign.
He's lovely. It's absolutely lovely.
He tried to teach you guys different points of view of like morality, ethics.
He's just trying to protect the people on his
And
back.
I think I taught him a different point of morality in that doing nothing is sometimes worse.
I
believe one of those puzzles ended with Evie basically telling Rika, sometimes the only way to win is don't play.
Yep.
Yeah, which was the last one, because Rika was stuck at like almost like the last one, because she was trying to fight giant sand sentinels that just kept appearing.
Yep.
And she couldn't. She is more headstrong than even Corinne is, and just like would just keep fighting and did not understand that an off switch was needed. But eventually, you guys helped her figure that out.
Yep.
So we saved my rival, and yeah, that's like. So we're going on and on, but Alchemedes was this really cool, great ancient dragon NPC
You don't have to
that Vinny
pretend.
thought up.
You don't have to pretend. It's fine.
No, it was a really cool idea. And then Vinny totally just like played the wrong card with it for Corinne, where he was like, okay, well, I've just met you. I'm going to put you through a series of tests. But we can only do one a day for some reason, even though you could certainly just have given us all the tests in like 3 hours, because it took us very little time to do them all. And then so instead of like an hour or two in the desert, we had to wait around for 3 fucking days while our continent is about to explode and kill a lot of people. And so Corinne got
this
real
is
annoyed
showing
at
that
this dragon.
the lesson of patience definitely was not
Patience
learned.
test was failed.
Yeah, but
Yeah,
you know
no,
what?
rehashing an
What's not
argument.
important in a lesson of patience? When a city is going to be blown to smithereens any moment.
We got there in time. It's fine.
It's not important. It's not, if we had had a few extra days, that might have been great.
And then there was, didn't really care about that city.
And then there was the tour at the next juncture. We were supposed to take the tour that one of the dragon folk were supposed to take us on, and most of us just didn't bother.
We just skipped the tour.
That was so funny. And then you guys asked like 4 or 5 questions later that like literally the guy was just like, well, if you took the tour, I could have given you that answer already, and it was great.
We were like, no, fuck you.
No, fuck you, guys. Tour.
This is
in
probably...
the desert, we found a very cool item.
That's true.
Oh yeah.
We found a hot lake. And did some magic and got burned, but we got a flaming sword out of a lake.
And a broken ship.
Yep.
And more disconnected maps to add to Evie's collection.
Yep. And this is where the armadillos were.
Yep.
And the
armadillos.
And we ended up saving the armadillos. We saved the armadillos.
Adopted 2 of them.
But the flame sword was broken.
They're my friends.
Yeah, it was
I don't adopt them. We're friends.
It became Dennis's Yule log, right?
Yep. It went into my lantern apartment.
There was a flame tongue sword that was on the bottom of a lake, keeping it ever boiling. And they found, I forget what the solution was, but you guys figured out the solution to get the sword out. Dennis kept it in his miniature apartment, basically.
Which is in his lantern.
Yep.
I think it was just Dennis leapt in, got really hurt, but had magic to get out quickly, right?
Dennis used Armor of Agathis plus resist elements plus the fortress, the Darren's instant fortress, which unstuck it, and then just took it. Yeah.
Dennis used a lot of nonsense.
Yeah.
Dennis used his repertoire of magic because.
Yep.
Dennis.
FYI, in a campaign for anything under level 16, Dan's instant fortress can really break some shit.
Yep. But it got buried in the. But I remember we had an issue where it almost got buried in the sand.
Like it was a sandstorm.
I think you guys purposefully did that to keep yourself out of the heat.
Cool. Mm-hmm.
We might have done
we
that.
used it, as our like night or daytime, because we went nocturnal in the desert because it was easier.
I also just remember, being an elf and therefore not needing as much rest time meant I had to guard the fortress at various points.
But that let you work on your maps, which you were happily doing anyways.
Yeah.
And we got the first look at Corinne's angelic guide, Lee.
Because
with
ridiculous passive perception, nothing was getting by Evie anyway.
Yeah, and it turns out Lee is a celestial servant of Helm who just sometimes takes over Widget's body to converse with Corinne about her goals and mission and like encourage her.
He's just a chill dude. Just chill dude there to help.
Pretty chill angel. A good bud.
So you guys got onto Alchemedes. You guys didn't take the tour. You guys found the prophet.
I don't think anyone explained that Alchemedes was a city-sized dragon.
Yeah, I guess that should be explained a bit. So Alchemedes is, in a very brief explanation, is basically the next chosen dragon to become Bahamut. He is the next platinum dragon, meaning that he ever grows. So he is the size of like a mountain range and holds a whole city on his back plus extra. And the whole city is actually just dragons in disguise as humanoids. It is a safe haven for dragons of all different types where they grow, learn, stay safe from being hunted or hunting other people. And honestly, pretty chill dude when you're not an asshole to him.
Yeah.
Which
happened. He was an asshole first.
He was lovely.
He was like, I gotta protect my people in the city. And we're there literally saying, we're here to protect people in his city.
That's why we're here.
Yeah, but
I gotta make sure you're good people. What do you think we're doing here?
To be fair, bad people could have gotten as far as you guys got. Like, that's...
I mean...
Yeah, that's fair. I still think his one test a day thing was just like a weird, like, arbitrary thing that he chose.
Kieran and Natalie hate patience. Got it.
Yes.
Which is...
No, because listen, I was fine goofing around in Morpheus for the time we had there, but when it was like, okay, we're almost there, and like, we goofed around in Morpheus. We probably shouldn't waste any more time here in the desert. Like, now's the time where we should really focus and get shit done.
He didn't know that we goofed around in Morpheus.
It's not Corinne's fault.
It's not anybody's fault. Just everyone was being a dick to each other. It's
pass the buck.
Anyways.
To be fair, if you're a dragon god in training, sometimes you make a little oopsie every once in a while.
Sometimes you make an oopsie.
I like how fallible both of these like nearly lawful good characters are.
What's up?
See, now I have a question.
Sure.
How does Evie get a patron?
Tell me what you want a patron of, and we
multi-class.
I don't know.
Well, that's helpful.
Mercy.
We'll figure it out.
Like the Overwatch character?
Not gonna lie, that's actually part of where some of Evie's stuff came from, including Blackwatch.
Nice.
Yeah.
And when Vinny got told that afterwards, he facepalmed at me.
No, I didn't know what Blackwatch was, but I'm fine with it. I don't. Overwatch can come at me. They suck.
You, Bobby Coding. No one likes you anyway.
Anyways. You guys got Alchemedes. You found the prophet and his bird friend, Minnie.
And Minnie was far more awesome than not Laz.
Hold on. So we found the prophet, but this whole time, Dennis thought he was going to meet his very good friend and wizard teacher who was, great every day. It's a cool guy. It's one of his best friends. And no, what we got was this guy who's sad, and I hated him, and he shouldn't have been there, and he wasn't Laz, and Dennis was very upset.
And rightfully so, because Saluzan was also a piece of work.
He was just
this so-called prophet who was supposed to know what to do was an absolute space case and couldn't seem to focus on anything or form complete sentences without
He was a
taking a
freaking
big
drunk.
drag on his pipe.
He was a drunk, or at least
Yeah.
I mean, for the most part,
he was inebriated in some form.
He was a hot mess and not
Yes.
a useful person for a group trying to.
Minnie was more useful until she kind of turned her back on us.
Well,
God, that was
anyway,
so funny too. Anyways,
we got the so-called prophet, and at that point, Corinne was like, "Well, we got him. Can we go? Because I'm going," and left. And she leapt off the back of the flying dragon city, turned on her wings and her rocket power speed, and just blasted away. And was like, "I'll meet you at Morphe's. I'm going to see my girlfriend."
Pretty sure you flipped him off.
And I did flip off the dragon. I was like,
so
do better.
Corinne went on a date while everyone else played catch up.
I think, Dennis, you also leapt from the back of the dragon.
I did, but I made a point to hit the ground really hard because
and everyone else used Featherfall, I'm pretty sure. But yeah, you guys all eventually got back to Morphe's Magical Mile, spent one more night there.
Because I think it was the thing that Alchemedes was gonna like have us just land in the desert and then walk back. And I was like, no, you wasted 3 days of our time.
No, what he was going to do was land closer to the Tangled and during the night, because he does not move except during the night, but you didn't want to wait for the night.
We just jumped.
Then
Yep.
So yes, back to Morphe's. You guys fucked with Blackwatch, I believe, and then got their ship. Connived your way to become workers on the ship.
We kind of bribed / lied our way onto the ship.
Yeah,
like,
it was undertow, but yeah,
promises of a reward.
Yeah,
that absolutely.
They needed hired muscle, and we're willing to pay handsomely for it. We needed money and a way to get there, and
finish.
And Evie basically volunteered the party to the party and Rika to basically defend the ship.
Yeah,
we
at this
never
point,
said
Rika
anything
was
about
like our fifth member.
12, including all the animals.
Sixth, because Bear is our fifth member.
But basically, if the crew didn't survive, it didn't matter. The ship and the goods all we were hired to protect was the ship itself and the goods. If the crew didn't survive, oh well.
But
I didn't promise
Morphe's,
anything.
We met with our teachers eventually. After I tried to go on a date with Clementine, and Alchemedes sent one of his followers to mess with me the whole time and disrupt it, which is an amazing stroke of petty versus petty that now has just defined Corinne and Alchemedes' relationship.
I think it's more Natalie and Vinny relationship.
There's bleed. There's definitely bleed.
There's bleed there, yeah, for sure. But yeah, no, and our monk instructors told us about the fire orb thing. They basically told us the real mission and the plot again.
They explained
because Vinny was like, "Please remember it this time, you idiots."
Yeah, they explained the elemental orbs, which were kind of like the Infinity Stones. That's kind of how the whole explanation of it went, was very much Wong waving his hands and being like, there were these 6 sources of power that created the universe. But it was the elemental orbs. You got told about the fire orb and how it was over in Tinarel / the city of Lark, where you guys ended up going. How it needed not to fall into the wrong hands. Blah 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 blah. Stop the evil. Blah blah blah. And you as a group then set out to do that in addition to the other thing, which was to stop the city from exploding.
So we got an illicit boat.
We did all of that. Is the short version.
This is the very short version. But we can hear some of the stories along the way, because we can't forget you meeting Graves, Crypt, and Tomb, because that was another experience.
That was an experience.
That was nothing.
They were some.
They
you
were a
know,
piece of work.
They were something.
Yeah, they were something. But we met a Warforged who had a boat.
That's right.
And a dog.
Mm-hmm.
And then there was
and
They
Dennis
don't
fixed
have for
it.
machines.
and there was an evil doctor.
Yep.
Was there an evil doctor?
There was an
Oh yeah,
there was a surgeon. So
The
to speak.
There was the surgeon who was performing.
There was a surgeon who was committing torture.
Yes.
And we stopped that, and someone in the party, no one in the party killed him and threw chunks of him as chum to the sharks. That didn't definitely happen, right, Gromagul?
I don't know what you're talking about.
I'm just upset that I didn't get to do it.
I wasn't aware that anyone died on that ship.
Exactly.
I'm just saying.
You did save an elven individual from being tortured. Eventually, you did arrive at Tinnerol after meeting a warforged creature who was riding a giant warforged called Ship and had a additional warforged pet called Dog.
That was where a bark came from.
Yep.
And we stuck the flame sword in the ship and fixed it.
Yep. They were like, as they were traveling, they were pumping out all this like really gross pollution into the waters, and Gromagul was like, "I'm gonna kill
ready
him."
to murder.
So
I had to save a life from Gromagul.
Yep.
I do love that because it was literally Corinne like flew away.
Save a bunch of fish lives.
Yeah, I flew like away from the ship and ran across the water like a half a mile just to be like, my guy, you gotta turn around. There is bad news coming for you if you keep going this way.
Yep. And I believe he docked with the ship and was going to, and it was either you fix it and stop polluting the waters, or Gromagul's gonna rip you in half.
Mm-hmm.
And the sheer happenstance of my Yule log being able to be used as like core to power ship was like the first step into Dennis being the thing, the
Artificer. And I think it was
personal.
I think it was the end of that when Evie gave you the pirate hat.
It was. That's still on like he still has his pirate hat.
Pirate, doctor, artificer, surgeon, barber.
Philanthropist. Yeah.
You gotta specify
Ghost barber.
Yeah, you have to specify ghost barber. That's
I learned how to be a barber from a ghost, therefore I'm a ghost barber. I can't barber on people.
Yep.
Except you did on Bear.
You
did eat a bear's hair at some point.
I ghost barbered Bear, which means nothing happened. It's very sad.
Anyways, you guys eventually landed in Tinnerol, where...
Well, no, we technically didn't. I ran ahead again, because that's my thing, is I just run ahead.
And
I was like, hey, guard of Tinnerol, some pirates are coming. Will you help me arrest them?
And then there was then there was the realization of all sorts of things.
That's why I killed that guy.
One of the
I waited until you were off the ship and to kill that guy.
1 sec, guys.
Sorry.
What are you saying, Evie?
The tiefling stole the thing and tried to fly off, and Evie basically was having none of that bullshit.
Oh, that was when the whole kill the druid thing happened. Yeah.
Fight broke out,
and the gauntlets came into play.
Yeah, that was another very interesting fight. You guys had that was a very unique fighting situation.
I mean, we split the party like what 4 ways,
something like that.
Everyone got real messed up.
It was insane.
Split up. But yeah, you ran ahead, found Jasjot, who would later become the paramour of Rico, which is just very funny. But yeah, you guys were able to start cleaning house, which you did very well with trying to take out you did eventually take out Graves, Tomb, and Crypt. I think you killed one of them and the other 2 survived or something, or maybe all
I think
3
we let them all live.
You did, I'm pretty sure you also found the druid underwater.
Yeah, more importantly, we found the druid who is turns out a council member in the city. And then Corinne chased after a hawk first. knocked them out of hawk form. They dropped into the water and became a shark?
Yep.
Kept following them, punched them to death as a shark. Then they went whale?
Yep.
I think so.
Punched a whale to death. Then they went giant shark.
Yep.
And she punched that to death.
Yeah.
And
You're
then,
like, dude, stop!
and then
really
punched
punching
the
out.
druid out
Yeah,
in order to like knock them out and carry them back to shore as a prisoner.
I don't remember if after a certain point Evie basically took over keeping the ship stable at that point.
Yeah, you were using I think flaming sphere or something to fight I think Grave on the ship, while the other two were dealing with Crypt and Tomb like right off
Sounds
on the
about
docks.
right.
You guys were all very split up, but you all were doing a good job.
Split up.
But yeah, you guys found out this plot to fuck with the king and the council. You stopped it. It was more drug-related stuff. And then you eventually went and talked to King Rejul, who became best friends with Deh-nys like in 2 minutes.
Yep.
Yup.
And the rest of
was
you
fantastic.
The rest of you got along pretty well too. So you addressed the council, talked to the council. To sum up that part pretty quickly, because there was a lot of talking and back and forth there for a while. You learned about a way to get down to the inner city that was underneath in the volcano that was apparently covered up at some point in history. Yep. And major way to save the ghost town, which somehow did involve the ghost barber becoming very useful at one point.
Yep.
Oh, and we made Arvin before we went into the volcano.
You did, right? You guys, you had like a day break where you guys artificed a bit, and Arvin, and I don't know, did you ever name your thing, Deh-nys, that you made?
No.
Deh-nys made a
You didn't?
Homunculi.
That's surprising.
No, Deh-nys didn't
I
want
thought
to
it was
name
like Skitter or something.
I don't think so. I don't think Deh-nys ever named it.
Oh.
So, yeah, no, Deh-nys never named
I do
it.
remember it being described as a homunculi.
It was.
It was
and
mechanical.
It was I remember it being described as an atrocity.
And we learned that Minnie was the prophet.
Yep.
Yeah.
Yeah, you got into a fight with a bird. Surprise, surprise.
One of you tried to swat away one of you swatted away
Deh-nys
at
did.
Minnie.
We were like, shoo, bird! And the bird fucking nearly killed Deh-nys.
Yep. And Deh-nys was like, what the fuck? And then we started beating up a bird because that's how Team Blaster gets down.
That's what happens when you give a bird the stats of a rogue, who's great.
Yep.
And I think this is around the time where we learned that Gromagul could blast. And we came up with the name Team Blaster.
Yep. It's the first time I used Eldritch Blast.
Yep.
Because I made a deal before when you guys jumped off of, or you guys were going off doing something on Alchemedes. I was talking to him about finding him a new place to settle.
Oh.
And he gave me a seed to plant. In exchange for this, he gave me magical powers on my arcane trick.
Custom homebrew warlock class, which, hey, if you join the Discord, you can actually find a link to that in the book that I'm going to be releasing soon. Anyways.
It's awesome.
Do it. Become the patronee of this jerk.
Yeah. Look at him. Look at him. He's cute. Do it.
So yeah, after you guys did that, you guys went to the city underneath the city. I forget the name of all the cities that I named because there were so many of them for this.
Yeah, they're written down.
Yeah, they're written down.
It was weird though. It was the city where it looked like a hand had like scraped across the
Duskburn. Duskburn is.
Wasn't this so? This was not inside the volcano.
No, this is the inside of the volcano we're talking about. Yeah.
Okay.
Because I think you guys did everything that you could on the outside real quick, because you're like, we're going to speed run the outside of the city, and then you guys just went down.
I do want to add that we did get a hotel, and before the city blew up, Deh-nys committed art on the hotel.
We're calling it committed art. That is, is what we're calling it now.
Yeah.
But you also had the king's consort doing this with you.
I think so, yeah.
You did.
Yes, you did.
Yep.
Because that was its own thing.
Yeah. No, yeah, they were hanging out. They they like chaos. So yeah, you guys went underground. Boy, a lot happened under there. That was like 5 sessions worth of so much shit.
So much stuff happened in the volcano, but I feel like it was basically Ghost Barber, and then I rolled really good on a hearing perception check, which meant we skipped a bunch of stuff you had planned.
There was a bunch of platforming with lava.
And then there was basically the mind control bullshit.
It was platforming with lava, but then I rolled really good, and Vinny was like, "Okay, yeah, you go right to the place you're supposed to go to," and we saw these ghosts being like, well, no, we saw golems of fire being created and then dying basically as soon as they were born, and ghosts of gnomes.
Yeah,
dwarves.
Yeah, no, a little of both. It was mainly
Anyway,
gnomes.
ghosts would just come out of these golems as they fell apart and just be like, ah! And then they went and hit the wall of the volcano with their fists. And this had been going on for ages because there were so many ghosts. So yeah, we broke into that weird factory.
Yeah, you broke into like the forge, which was like in its heyday, like the best forge around. But you know, since it was in a volcano, they got sealed off. Not many people came down to it, and everyone in this place suffocated to death because they blocked off the top of the goddamn volcano. By the way, all of you guys would have eventually died if you stayed down there too long. I would have had you guys rolling breathing checks.
Yeah, you did actually. You started causing us to gain like exhaustion or something for smoke inhalation.
Okay, because I was like, there's definitely a thing I planned. I just didn't know if we ever actually got to it. But yeah.
Oh, we also had the fire resistance potions, and I think that negated a lot of the like environmental stuff.
Yeah, which saved you guys a lot of stuff.
And
you guys.
Evie also absorbed some of it because that's a thing she can do.
Sure.
Yep. And we ended up getting there was like a little puzzling moment while we were trying to get into the forge, where we definitely dealt with it in a sane and responsible manner.
Yeah, 100%.
And nothing bad happened.
Yeah.
Instant fortresses really are.
Look, I used it like 3 times, and none of the times were broken. They were just stupid.
I know. It was just very funny every time you used it. Then we were just like, oh, well, we got to get through this locked door. I guess I'll just make a fortress appear in front of it.
It wasn't even.
We were already through.
I know.
No.
We were all yes.
We would have been through in like 30 seconds, and Dennis was impatient because he's been hanging around Corinne too much.
I'm not sorry.
But yes, so you guys got through. You met the basically the descendant of an older forger from this forge, who was basically the last of her line, who was trying to heal these souls using with an item that she didn't even know she was using, which was a piece of thread from Istis's magic kit related to fate, as she was trying to hammer these souls back into the earth itself to make new bodies for them. But unfortunately for her, she didn't know that she was doing it wrong, because she was like 12 and didn't know magic. And this is the time where Dennis decided to use see invisibility or true sight or something, and then or detect magic, and just saw this thread of like potential.
The thread of fate from like the Luma fate, like the big one.
Yeah.
All capitals.
Yeah, all capitals.
And then I stole it because you allowed me to do that.
Oh yeah, we should have never mentioned, but everyone had really weird gifts / items that they all got. Specifically, Gromagul was bear. The others got tattoos and arm bands for their magic and fighting. And Dennis got an item that was stealing attunement from other people, not getting the item, but just getting the attunement attached to him, meaning something that he never used this entire game, the entire 28 sessions. But this one time he used it. It just fucked it all up in the best way possible. It was great.
An incredible play. Honestly, play of the game. Now that we've like gone over and talked about everything, play of the game, stealing that thread.
It really was.
Because so much fucking shit hinged on having
I was going to say, he used
it
3 times, and each time it kind of saved your guys' life.
Yeah.
And although I will say the end game, the last one, when it got woven into the wish.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Because it got woven in literally with a little bit of everybody.
That was the second one.
That was the second one?
Yeah, the last one got used in the very, very last fight.
Mm-hmm.
The one I remember is you basically took a piece of
the dragon.
You took a piece of literally the entire party, including Bear, and wove it in.
Yep.
Yeah, I think that was.
But
I think that was the third one. That was the third use, because the diamond was the first one, right?
Yep.
Right, because we should not jump
Let's-
ahead, right?
let's- yeah,
we're
So
jumping.
you stole the attunement, and then we went outside, or we took the little girl ghost outside, and was like, "This is gonna be rough, but here's what's actually been happening, and we're sorry." And she was real sad, and we had a moment on a cliff, and then some dude showed up, and I was like, "You should go back inside, kid." And then basically just called
ran
shot,
off
like,
again.
You rocketed off and immediately engaged.
He was headed towards us. You could have waited for him to get there, and I could have been there for the first 3 rounds, Corinne.
Nope. She's pissed. This guy took advantage of a little kid.
So was he.
The same. Fire arc will be the arc where Corinne learns patience.
Nope. So you guys ended up finding Boss, who was a red tiefling with some unique properties and abilities. One of the things that he used was a device that constantly produced magma elementals that you guys on the ground had to fight, while Corinne was dealing with Boss in the air. So there was basically another pretty decent fight where you guys had 2 different things going on. You guys on the ground were getting very hurt, but this is where Deh-nys was like, let's just fuck with fate and see what happens here the first time.
Figure out what the heck I could do with this string, and turned, I think, a 50 square foot block of lava into solid diamond that was 2 feet thick or 3 feet thick or something. Thick enough where we could walk on it.
It was very, very thick, yeah.
Oh, okay. I did a thing, and then it helped us get closer to the guys so that people could beat them up.
Yeah, but it turned all of the magma elementals frozen into diamond as well, which is the other important thing. So it just completely immobilized all of these things.
Wasn't the reason that he used some magic item and then summoned the fire elementals, and didn't someone make him drop it or something in the lava?
He dropped it into the lava.
Yep, that's how they produced, is him dropping it down into it.
Okay, gotcha.
And so I think it was by you turning the lava into diamond,
Because I
didn't work anymore.
I also vaguely thought I went in and got it.
You did. I think that was the next session. You tried to go down to grab it to break it, which is what I think the start of literally the next session was.
Mm-hmm.
Sounds about right.
Yeah, so you ended up breaking it so it didn't produce more of these magma creatures.
Yeah. And then
again, another good fight. You guys did good there too.
That was a good fight. It was so much fun. I have it written down somewhere, and I need to go back and listen to Corinne versus Boss, because that was epic.
We also have to say this is the beginning of a very long day for this group.
Oh my god.
Because this was all one day.
I'm pretty sure at the end of at the end of that day, every single one of us had 0 anythings. Any ability, spell, health, gone.
Hit die. We were out of hit die.
Yeah. Everything.
Because I vaguely remember at the end of that, you asked me, how the hell do you still have key points? And I was like, my gauntlets don't run on key points, and I've been abusing that.
Yeah. Yep. I mean, it's a good thing to have. It saves you those key points for when you really, really need them.
Yep.
But yeah, you guys... Yeah, continue.
Having to run through an entire character sheet's worth of stuff really played into the whole anime vibe that we had going the entire time anyway, though, because it was okay, well, I haven't used this yet. Blah, power up sequence. And then the next villain Vinny would throw at us and be like, well, I had saved this in the wings. Blah, another thing.
Mm-hmm. So I think we beat up that guy, the guy who was taking advantage of the ghost kid.
We beat up that guy, and then
then we left.
You handed him off to a random prison warden.
Yeah,
right.
Which is how he then escaped later.
And then we beat him up again. No, Gromagul beat him up again.
But how did we? Because we thought it was good, right? We thought originally that everything was fixed, and so we left because
Something
there was
else.
like
Something else happened, and in the distraction of the something else happening, he left.
There was so 3 things happened all at once. There was a murder attempt assassination attempt on the king.
That's what it was.
There was an appearance from one of the people from the ship that we arrived on, I think. Right?
I think one of them was trying to escape, yeah.
Corinne saw something
in the volcano.
Down to the volcano to investigate, and something happened.
You saw an explosion. You guys it took a bit for you guys to figure out that there was a vent leading from the volcano all the way down into a farther cavern. Which,
we beat boss and then had the wish thread and went back to the king to be like, hey, we have a solution. I think that's the progression that it took.
Yeah.
Because that's when Deh-nys helped fix the wish that the king had that was like a monkey's paw wish to make it not a monkey's paw.
It was like a DC 35 check or something ridiculous.
It was ridiculous.
And I thought wonderful.
Everything into it.
Literally.
And it was like the king originally had to make a wish that wouldn't benefit him. And so our first plan was like, well, he should just make a selfish wish that like his kingdom is not his kingdom anymore. And we were going to like scatter the inhabitants across the world and basically break up the kingdom. So it would detriment him. He wouldn't be king anymore, but everyone would be safe. And then through like clever wording, we came up with the wish that like every single soul in Teneral will be protected and saved.
So everyone went ethereal for a while as bad things happened.
Exploded.
But as the mountain exploded and everything calmed down, you guys split up to check things out again. And when you guys went to make sure everything was okay, that's when the 3 different fights broke off at the same time.
But the mountain didn't explode. Grom used his thing.
I planted the seed before. No, it exploded, but I planted the seed.
But then right after.
So afterwards,
you just regrew everything.
It just regrew into like this tropical fucking mountainous area.
But some
and Evie got wings for a session, and that was awesome.
Yeah, so that happened, I think, right after, because I think it was Deh-nys and Corinne went down to check the volcano to check out the diamond, and when you went to go down and check out the diamond, you saw the crack that showed the explosion of the fire dragon coming out, and that's where you guys dealt with the fire dragon.
It was actually Corinne and Rika, because Deh-nys had, like, left. Deh-nys
had done his Irish goodbye.
I'm going off alone. I'm saying goodbye, and it was really sad. But then you rolled really poorly and got lost and wound up in the volcano anyway.
Yep, that's exactly. There it is.
Which is good because it made that fight from it being like an adult near ancient red dragon
versus 2 monks.
Versus 2 monks made it turned into like a baby dragon wyrmling who was just kind of pissy.
Yep, using
because that was the second wish.
That was the
right.
That was the third.
That was the last
with
one.
Yeah.
He used the last bit of thread to turn the dragon back into a kid or something like that. And it turned into like a 14-year-old, which in dragon terms is still scary.
Yeah, not as scary, but still scary.
Less scary. Defeatable, one could say. Given that we hadn't had a rest yet still. This is like after maybe a short rest or something.
Yeah, and Evie talked to one of the, I think one of the glass dragons from Alchemedes and gained like the fly spell that produced like chromatic glass shard wings for her to fly, and then so Gromagul and Evie were fighting on top while I think you two were fighting down below, and y'all all resolved your fights like pretty.
Oh, I almost went down. I almost died, guys.
Yeah, you did.
I almost died.
We all almost died.
I mean, I was a death save away from dying.
And Bear convinced one of the like council members to come and help you.
That was right.
Yeah. I remember that.
And I
refused, by the bear.
And Evie refused to kill the asshole. Instead, brought him back to for as far as she was concerned, faced trial.
So you guys basically, all three faced 3 different mini bosses at the same time, and
it was insane.
You won.
Dennis got so desperate he had to use that spell, Vicious Mockery.
That's right.
It's so desperate.
I was like,
"Yep,
what's that spell?"
I know, right? Like that spell, Vicious Mockery.
I think,
Mhm.
Grom, you did roll your final death save just to see what it would have been, and
I would've
if you
died.
failed it, you would have died.
I would have died.
Yeah.
And none of you know Revivify.
Save for the bear.
And we wouldn't have been there. Yeah.
And you know what? I would have just continued playing as bear.
Look,
which would have been
bear
amazing.
is still the best choice.
Yep.
But yeah, for those of you who stuck around for this hour-long explanation, that is a summary of what Fire Arc was. And
That's not the end, Vinny.
Yeah. A little bit more.
That's not the
All
end,
right.
Vinny, because you
Fine.
didn't let it be the end, Vinny. No,
You had to point out that we missed things.
You pointed out that we missed that Seluzan wasn't a useless piece of shit. He was like an important, pivotal NPC of some kind, and was pulling some weird magic to open a portal to God Realm. And we were like, "The fuck, dude!"
Oh yeah. And
don't do that.
And
So,
Evie went through the portal on her own because why the fuck not?
Because she's been hanging around Corinne too much.
Bad influence.
Asked a bunch of questions and then said, "Yeah, I'll be back," and went back to get the rest of the party because that was something.
Yeah, so you guys ran into Seluzan, who actually only had one arm. Apparently the other arm was animated form of what a spell scroll was to transport or open up a hole to let him go through it to go to the like frozen palace where the rest of them, the rest of the party members / gods or whatever were hanging out.
Because he took the orb, didn't he?
He ended up taking the fire orb.
Yeah, he took the fire orb that we were trying to get and keep protected, and we were like, "What the fuck? What are you doing?" And he wouldn't tell us what he was doing, and it was scary magic stuff, and we were like, "Is he a bad person, Vinny? What?"
Vinny, is that yet another instance of Ange rolling a nat 1 to try and take the fire orb back?
Oh god, yeah, that was funny as hell too.
And then, what was the other thing?
You guys talked to a couple gods for a little bit. Oh, also,
yeah,
you
we
got to
talked
meet
to some
your god.
gods.
You got to meet.
Well, yeah, earlier when Corinne helped word the wish, she got to meet Helm in like their original form, which was this like cool huntress archer, and yeah, they were like, "You're doing a good job." Also, this guy Deh-nys, man, is he tricky. But yeah, but then and I had to use my spell scroll that I'd been saving the whole campaign because I had nothing left, so I just popped Spirit Guardians on myself and like showed up with like basically like double team copies of Corinne, just spiritual versions of herself like flickering in and out of existence as her Spirit Guardians.
Mm-hmm.
That was super fun. I should level up and actually learn that spell.
Yeah, it's a good spell.
It's a good spell. But yeah, and then we met some gods, and they were like, "Wow, you're the first people to actually come talk to us." And we were like, "Well, the job wasn't finished."
You guys talked to, I believe, Mistra and a few other gods, and they explained to you that they were gathering these orbs with a purpose. And you guys were like, "Oh, well, y'all are pretty chill, and we're down to help," which was basically the sum up of the conversation. So then you guys are like, "Okay, cool, we're gonna help the gods, but also we have this giant cash check we need to like we need to cash." And that kind of that as close as we can sums up that part of the Fire Arc. And then you guys had this huge payday, and we have like a few minutes left before we go insanely over. So, before, is there any other things you guys want covered related to either character or the overarching stuff itself you want explained before I quickly just make a wizard with you guys?
Bear's best.
Bear's the best.
It's best.
Corinne and Grom kind of settled their beef, and now we're all friends, and we have a lot of money and airships.
Yep.
And we're gonna go do jobs for gods because they need people.
Mm-hmm.
Do you explain that to the people that are working for you?
That we're on a holy mission from gods?
Yeah.
Nah.
Probably not.
Yeah, 'cause I can't imagine
Unnecessary.
after the shit show that is rescuing Malen that you guys sat down and were like, so we're helping out all these gods, and this is everything that's happened to us up until now. Will you help us out for a lot of gold, ridiculous amount of gold? And I'd be like,
yeah.
Money?
I heard money. I didn't hear anything you said before that.
I'm not gonna lie. Dennis most likely forgot
that you're on a mission from God.
Yeah. It wouldn't have
Amazing.
been something that stuck. He would have been like, I get to go hang out with my friends and fly in airships and stuff and see cool things. I don't care who we're working for.
That's cute.
Cool.
Dennis is working for Corinne.
Before we end, we're going to do a quick game called Build a Wizard. Now, this wizard currently does not have a name, so anyone who's in the chat is welcome to give me a male name for this wizard, and that most likely will be one of the options we choose from, if not just the one that we choose.
I'm in chat. Can I suggest a name?
Yes, you guys can suggest names. Beyond that, currently he is level 1, and he needs to get to level... You guys are the worst. Why? He needs to get to level 13, so we're going to level him up 12 levels right now.
Okay.
First, he's getting to level 2, and I believe we're doing Conjuration.
Conjuration Wizard.
Because that's
Wait.
teleportation, right?
That's what I was going to ask, because I haven't played a real caster in way too long.
I was just looking.
Yeah.
I'm pretty sure
It's conjur-
teleportation is a conjuration spell.
Yeah. I'm not sure it
Like
helps
teleportation
at all.
circle or teleport?
I think they both count as the same. The teleport is what we're trying to get to in the end.
Conjuration.
Yep, 7th level conjuration.
Alright, so he's going to be a conjuration wizard, just on the off chance that somehow helps in the end.
Big,
I feel like it won't.
Alright, so currently his stats, as we get to the stat the ASI feat, he has a 14 in strength, a 16 in dexterity, a 14 in constitution, an 8 in intelligence, a 10 in wisdom, and a 13 in charisma.
He has an 8 in intelligence?
We decided we wanted to make a himbo wizard, and we're playing really strong into it.
Okay.
He just can't cross-class. He's still a wizard. He's just dumb.
Yeah, he just can never multi-class.
Me thick.
So, would you like me to put something in one of the stats that are good, one of the stats that are bad, or give him a random feat?
Strength.
What does he have? ABS? How many?
He has IBS, actually.
I was about to say that.
Gross.
He has a 14 in strength, a 16 in dexterity, a 14 in constitution, an 8 in intelligence, a 10 in wisdom, and a 13 in charisma.
Give that lad either con or strength.
I think more constitution.
I would argue in favor of con, because
to
offset the intelligence, he's gonna need the hit points.
Mm-hmm.
That's how he's lived his whole life, baby.
Yep.
All right, constitution it was.
I don't know where to cast the fireball, but if I cast it on me, I'll survive.
All right, we're level 8. Another either ASI or feat. I'm going to say that one was Alex. Natalie, ASI or feat?
How about a feat, guys? What do we think? I like feats. Let's make him
I feel like a meta magic feat would be in order.
Those are
to give him sorcery points?
You could get 2 sorcery points. And some
and what how many meta magic features?
Wait, he gets to choose 2, I think, is what you get when you get it. So you'd be able to choose 2 out of the whole list.
Huh. That's interesting. I wasn't.
So you can make him a chef, or give him the crusher feat, or the Dark Elf Magic feat, or the Tavern Brawler feat if you just want him to randomly be able to throw hands.
He is? Yeah. I like the meta magic thing, but we might want to save it. I think because he is such a himbo that maybe Wizard wasn't the first thing he tried to be good at. I kind of wanted to give him skilled.
Skilled?
Ooh.
Just make him... Do you want skilled and give him 3 extra skills, or do you want to take the skill expert and give him an expertise in like athletics and then like 1 extra skill?
I was going to give him proficiency in 3 skills. Since he's going to be level 14, that'll be a pretty decent bump to a bunch of
he
stuff.
does already have, I can't see all of them, but athletics and acrobatics he already has proficiency in. I don't remember what else he has.
Yeah, so I think let's give him proficiency in like survival.
Okay.
If he doesn't already have it for being a wizard, Arcana.
Arcana.
He has Arcana, Athletics, Perception, and Religion, and now Survival. So you can choose 2 more. So you can choose Acrobatics, Animal Handling, Deception, History, Insight, Intimidation, Investigation, Medicine, Nature, Performance, Persuasion, Sleight of Hand, or Stealth.
Channel the Kronk.
Huh?
Channel Kronk.
So nature?
Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah.
All right, Nature, and he gets 1 more.
Did you say he has religion already?
He has religion already.
What if we just gave him history and gave him proficiency in all the intelligence traits?
For no fucking good reason.
He's a big old himbo nerd.
Perfectly average in every way.
I was gonna suggest medicine for a similar reason, but I like that.
Because he went to wizard school. He just, he was a C student.
All right. We are at the 3rd ASI. EV or Grom. One of you guys choose ASI or feat.
ASI.
All right. EV. Strength, Dexterity, Constitution, Intelligence, Wisdom, or Charisma.
Already did con, so I'm gonna say charisma.
Charisma, all right. He's a charismatic lad. All right, he's now.
He's like playing Skyrim, and you go to the Wizards College, but you don't know any magic, and you haven't leveled up magic at all. And you're like, you have to cast a spell to get in. And you just put on all the magic gear and all the magic rings and drink the magic potion. You cast one spell and then you never use it again. Then you're like the Archmage.
Did anyone? Oh God. It's like I had a thing and I lost it.
Oh well.
All right, Malen. Animal handling, insight, or medicine.
Animal handling is wisdom.
Yeah, all 3 of these are wisdom. Animal handling, insight, and medicine. Choose one.
Let's give him insight.
Cool. Insightful himbo. We love to see it. Okay. Yep. All right. He's level 13. He has proficiency in 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8 skills.
Hell yeah.
He has average hit points, which is 93 hit points. He has 13 AC. And because he's a drow, he has disadvantage on attacks and perception rolls in sunlight.
What's his con score?
His con score is 16. Sorry.
Okay.
With mage armor, though, he does bump himself up to 16 for AC, which is not bad for a wizard.
Not bad for a wizard. I mean, I don't intend to put him in danger.
Okay.
So
theoretically,
I will put up a if we really want to, I will put up a vote for Jeff or Bob if no one wants to suggest a 3rd name.
We did suggest a 3rd name.
There is no 3rd name there as far as I can read.
I think there's a 3rd name in the chat, Vinny.
All right.
Damn it!
It's a great name.
Jeff and
It's
Bob.
a really good name, that 3rd one, though.
Jeff and Bob are the 2 options then. I'm putting up a poll in the chat.
That's 3 votes. That's 3 votes for the third name, Vinny. You can't.
Wait. Where is this poll?
I'm gonna
It's
put
in
it up
Twitch.
in a second.
Yes.
Give me 1 second. Alright, new poll. Wizard name. Alright. We have
And then I have to go.
Jeff and
Sorry.
Bob. Does anyone want to throw in a third option that is not Vinny before we do this?
I mean, we've made enough Skyrim references. Parthenax?
Yeah.
I will put that in just for the hilarity of it. Okay.
Please don't. Oh god.
Oh no.
Like his name is like super wizardy,
Oh,
but they're like, "Hey man, can you
motherfucker,
cast a
who-
spell?" And he was like, "Absolutely no, I cannot."
No. Oh god.
We need you to cast teleport.
Mel,
What?
you taking advantage of my stream shit is going to irritate me. Alright. Wait for that to finish up.
Oh
are-
man, I'm only
believe in you,
100
Mel.
points away from name generator.
Oh, no.
Yes.
That really
We
would
gotta
have been.
stall for another 10 minutes.
Oh, hey, suggest a poll.
Oh, look at that.
Alright, wizard name poll is up.
Oh, look at that.
There are 3 options. Choose whichever one you enjoy.
I have a time limit? Oh,
Time limit. Wait, where is the poll?
Oh, it's
You
up
have to-
there.
It replaced the other one.
Oh,
Yeah.
I see. Oh
Yeah,
man.
sorry guys, we're not naming an NPC after me.
Hey, Penny, one of my other D&D groups did that. He named his character after me. I hated him forever, so I don't.
I just
I get it.
I'm not gonna deal with it. Yeah, no. I would have dealt with like Inari or Kelso, which are the name of my dogs, before I would have dealt with that.
We should have done that.
We
But I
should have
think-
done Inari.
The problem, though, is there's 6 votes for Parthenax.
Well, it's the only fantasy name. Like,
Yeah, you're the motherfuckers who did this. This is not my fault.
I don't know what
What
you
I'm
mean.
just talking
Vinny.
about.
All right,
We were
Jeff,
all in
No
on
idea.
Vinny the Wizard.
All right, Jeff Bob, it is.
And Evie's just gonna come up with something ridiculous later anyway.
Hi, my name's Parthenax, but my friends call me Bob.
My family calls me
Jeff
Jeff.
Bob.
Please.
Jeff Bob.
Billy Bob is
Alright.
my father.
No, Billy Bob Jimbo.
All right. We have made the wizard. People who need to go are welcome to head off because nothing we are doing from this point on is probably going to be important. In the beginning of the next session, which we will figure out the date for, we will plan how you guys all meet up. If we want to go with one of the ways that it already has been discussed for you guys dragging Malen on, we can just say it happens. And then we'll head straight into the mission of you guys either going to Avali to clean up the like ever-present, ever-consuming tornado and air elementals that are being produced from this place, because like at least Natalie, if you remember, because you joined there was like 50 air elementals, and that was from like 10 minutes of it being around.
Wait a minute.
I know.
Is that
I want to
another?
go to Avali and
Wait.
solve the problem that
Is
I
that
have not had a
another-
chance to fix twice now.
Is that another basically thing like I shattered that we have to shatter?
It's basically another dragon creature.
Yeah, it's
but we don't have the wish thread anymore, so
no,
we're gonna
but
have
it's a
to
thing.
like.
But it was the. But was it like the thing that created the magma elementals, like the thing I pulled out of the goddamn lava?
No, it's these elementals, these elemental dragons create elementals slowly from their existence from being in the elemental plane. So they're slowly just like siphoning their element into the world in like forms, which take the place as air elementals for ease of use. Meaning you guys are gonna have to face a bunch of fucking air elementals.
Yeah.
Joy.
So we burn them.
I see a hand raised from Alex.
Yeah, Lee, what were we gonna say?
Mhm.
You look like you're.
Oh, I'm saying good night. Good night.
Bye, Leo.
Bye.
Yeah. again, anybody else who needs to go, because it is past 10, it's almost 10:30.
You're
welcome to
past
go.
10.
Thank you. But yeah, so we'll be having you guys deal with the Ovali situation finally. Since you guys have an armada, we might even say that some of the armada is dealing with like shooting down some of the air elementals to give you guys a fighting
I thought
chance.
we only have our one ship for.
I mean, you probably have like every once in a while a ship gets made, so like there's a few, but like
okay.
And technically, we could borrow other armadas if they want to help us.
You could pay, you could rent an armada.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, isn't this big dragon evil thing in a country?
It's in a city that is now like flattened and decimated.
Yeah, if we can throw our exorbitant wealth at the problem, then I want like wizards who know how to recreate the thing that like keeps the city good, so that when we kill the elemental thing, they can fix it. Right?
We can discuss this. Yeah, we can definitely discuss like the specifics of like you getting some of this stuff, like the beginning of next session. But I will say like the thing that was holding up the city was basically the air version of the fire elemental orb.
Gotcha.
That's what was making the climate nice?
Yeah, that was creating an air shield around the city.
Oh, I thought that was some other thing.
Wait a minute.
That got broken.
You wouldn't know this though. That's the thing. It's like you guys wouldn't like know that
No,
was
but we could have. But we have artificers at our disposal too.
That's
true. Yeah, you guys could definitely like again throw money at the problem and make another solution.
So we could basically pay a bunch of artificers to make a new shield.
Yeah, you guys could definitely
or like
something.
some sort of like item bonded control weather, like a constantly re-upping control weather to like make a nice habitable zone again.
Yeah. But before you'd able to clear that out, you do have to clear out the pests. There's lots of little rats running around.
On that note,
little rats made of tornadoes, you mean?
Yeah.
It's bedtime. It is bedtime for me.
All right, we're going to. I'm going to quickly sign off on here, guys. Next week is going to be a busy week for the Records of the Realms. We have Sunday is Light Arc, potentially maybe Earth Arc coming up soon. We don't know when. And then Wednesday, Griffin, who has been my DM before, is going to be running his Blight arc, his short mini, I think 16 session campaign on Wednesdays starting next week. And then we have the Gentlefolk Saga on episode 3 of season 2 on Friday. So next week is going to be very busy. Please come around, come on the Discord, hang out and talk with us. It was great seeing you this time, and you will be seeing the Blaster Team Blaster together again in April. Have a good night, y'all.
Good night.